Welcome to ICL on a Wednesday on this glorious April 1st. That's the prank, as I can't speak. And here we are again with another wonderful lineup, and we're going to play everyone's favorite game. Guess that caster! And sometimes they'll speak.
We didn't, as I say, we didn't agree who was going to go first, so I figured, I was just going to let you go.
But you go first. You're the experienced one.
Yeah, but I did go first, though, so now it's your turn.
Oh. Okay, well, now I spoke.
And here's the fun thing.
Show.
I was going to say, here's the fun thing about this game. No one ever plays.
That's what makes it so fun. Occasionally people play. Occasionally.
Never. No, we get, wrong answers only.
Wrong answers only for sure.
Yeah.
Here, maybe I'll give like little hints. You know, it says 6 foot on my license, but it's really 5'11". Let's see.
That's a lot.
I really hope that's true.
That's a lot of community. Not gonna lie.
Let's see. They were tired of me losing in the ICL, so they put me in the booth.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I'm still undefeated in the ICL. Actually, so
I'm pretty sure
I have appeared once
on
Masters of Disaster.
I feel like you got awards.
You were the first guest.
Or were nominated for something in season 2. Did you not? I thought I did.
Maybe. I don't even know. Did we play ICL last season? I don't even know.
Yes, you did.
Did we play ICL last season? I don't know. Maybe.
Now. We got a countdown now.
We're fancy.
Fancy.
It's Fumbles!
Hi, everyone.
And me.
And you.
And me.
And you. Did I point the right way? Dang it. It's always the other way.
No, it's the other way. I'm not even going to attempt to point.
I always do it, and I don't know why.
I think it's that way, right?
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at professionalism here.
Yeah.
I'm missing my point.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But we've got a great show tonight. We've got Ink and Lore versus the North County Salty Ducks.
North County where?
California.
Oh, okay.
Come on, you don't know.
Oh yeah, my bad. You guys like North County? Is it like the North County? Like is it? That's not like North Florida is a different planet than Central Florida, which is a different planet than South Florida. So you got, if you're gonna say you're North County, you got to show me a map somewhere, you know.
And so, because you're Orlando based, right? Would that be Central Florida?
Nope, that's Central Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would that be Central Florida? No, that's Central Florida.
No, it's Central Florida. No, yes, but yeah, it's one of those things.
Well, because if you say Sacramento is Northern California, it's not. It's Central Valley. So, just saying.
But it's still.
I've gotten yelled at before about this, but it's northern-ish.
Northern-ish. That's kind of like when we were all at Ink and I'm like, we're in Baltimore, and they're like, no, you're not.
You're outside of Baltimore. How dare you?
I flew into Baltimore. I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
I'm within an hour outside of Baltimore.
Right.
Yeah.
But that area, flying to Ink was interesting because there's like 3 big airports. Yeah. And it's like a triangle.
Choose your fate. And you're like,
I want the cheap one. Well, you're going to be an hour and a half away from your destination.
Yep. Pretty much.
Yeah, I think that's my ground level of entry to an event now. If you're not like 30 minutes away from the airport,
I'm out.
I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah, it's
tough for me.
It's a hard sell. Like I'm looking at you, Arkansas. That looks so fun, but at the same time, how do you? If I have to like take a bus and then a plane and then portage the rest of the way there, like I don't want to do it. And I know that like is kind of hurtful for those areas, but I know that the Midwest needs it, right? You guys and you guys drive everywhere, so you're sort of just kind of fine with it all.
I've been told that a Midwest drive being about 8 hours is low, so.
Which is crazy to me because again, like, well, you drive 8 hours here and you're still in Florida, so it's like, okay.
I complain about a drive more than 4 hours, so.
4 hours
I mean,
is fine
there's
for me. 6
drives.
is my limit, I think.
There's drives that we would go to Texas that like half the trip is getting to Texas and the other half is getting to our destination in Texas while in Texas.
Yes.
So some of these states like Florida and Texas, they just have some long areas. Like Florida's not even like big. It's just like flattened and stretched out, right? Like, so, you know, a lot of the other states are kind of more squarish-y or whatever. So it's kind of easy to cut through one way or another and go through a few states. But, you know, being from Nebraska, I've driven a lot and to a lot of different events across the country. Yeah, crossing the Rockies isn't fun by car.
Where are the Rockies? Just for the people at home.
For the people at home.
Right next to Colorado. You
Oh,
have
so
to get
going
to it
west.
when you want to
Okay,
go to
yeah, yeah,
California.
yeah.
You
All
got to
right,
go through.
Yeah,
Luke, I have a great Twitch idea one day. You and Color have to play what is it?
state is this? No, I'm kidding.
No,
Oh no,
GeoGuessr. You guys have to do like
No.
GeoGuessr
I'm
battles.
so bad at it.
I know,
I'm
but,
so
like, I think
bad.
Chat, listen. All right, we need
We
to
figured it
step
out.
up
We figured it out.
because the two of these two trying to figure out where they are in the Philippines sounds amazing to me.
It would just be
I would
like,
cry laughing.
it's like, which of us is within like 2,000 miles because we're gonna be that wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
no,
bad.
but,
Yeah, no.
it's pretty fun. I highly recommend it. I'll
Just like a web browser game, or is it like a
yeah, it's like a web browser game, but like
okay?
It's
there's like
entertaining.
actual meta to it. There's
Oh yeah,
like,
I've seen
you,
some
Well,
clips.
people
that's
study like the
crazy.
road signs and like the dirt. Like I'm not kidding. There's like
Oh, this is like a
actual-
whole thing.
Oh yeah, there's actual like a world championship for GeoGuessr. Like so if
And
you
they're
know, look,
normally
it falls
like
out for me. It's my backup.
miles, like within 20 miles. Like some of them are great. It's
Oh,
crazy.
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's fun.
So is it just like a photo, or does it like describe the area plus a photo?
No.
So,
it
no,
just
it's just a
shows you a
picture.
random Google,
Like a Google Maps picture.
Google Maps,
And you're
you
like,
have
oh
to
yeah,
choose-
that's right.
figure out
Now
where it
it's
is.
to this person's
Yep.
whatever, and then you just kind of like, huh?
There's some easier levels. Like there's like
If there's visible
tourist
words.
destinations or like New York City, and then just figure out where you are in New York City specifically.
Okay.
Or there's like ones that
But-
like show a picture for like 10 seconds and then it disappears and then you have to remember where you are.
Yeah,
We're
nope,
not
I'm
here
dead.
for
I died.
GeoGuessr, though. We are here for
We're
some
here for-
infinity action.
Okay. Okay.
That
Yeah.
somebody here has been like talking all day about how much they love Infinity. I'm pretty sure.
I actually talked about it in different levels, right? Like core is dead to me. It's banished. I'm out.
Whoa.
Ban core. Absolutely.
Until
I've
next
decided
week.
it's-
When it's
Wait,
back
during the
again.
best format
April-
in Lorcana.
I
How
think that
rude.
anytime I say something today that is seen as like potentially problematic, I just yell April Fools, and I think it's working out really well for me. So
I don't think so.
Band core, right? Band core, and then after that, I'll play like Jank Infinity, and then I'll play proper Infinity, then I'll play Sealed, and then I'll draft. So that is the Lorcana.
Where's Pack
hierarchy for
Rush
me.
in there?
It's like it's next to Sealed. They're
Okay.
kind of like mushed in there, depending on how
Different
poor
format.
I am.
Officially.
All right, but we're gonna hop over to the match here because it's just
Ooh,
about to
nice.
start.
Nice.
And
Oh,
while we
wow.
jump over there, you two can predict which team you think's gonna get there.
For sure, Ink and Lore.
Just because you like the logo.
I'm big friends and fans of the Ink and Lore family, so I'm ready
Oh.
for them to. And no offense to my friends in the Salty Ducks, but I am not aware of too many Salty Ducks, and if they're salty, I'm more of a sweet guy. So
Okay, that's a pretty good one. So why don't you tell us a little bit about Ink and Lore? Because I just learned that Salty Ducks is from California, so that is the most information that I have about either one of these teams.
you know, honestly, I appreciate that you do your homework on this.
Mhm, mhm. I'm quite professional. Thank you.
I believe. You know, I'm gonna say something
He
wrong
said
here.
he was like
You're
had
put-
friends, and he was like, "You can't believe you called me out on this." No idea who's on this team.
No, I do know them. I just don't know where they're based. I mean, I
Don't
have an
dox
idea.
them. Don't dox them. Talk about the people. Tell us about their story.
Their story is that they're here to gain some lore and
think.
inks and cards. Come
We're
on, man.
doing-
Yeah, they are
We're
Chicago-based.
Chicago-based.
Okay,
Awesome.
I knew that. Okay, because I know that because of. Oh my goodness, I'm blanking now. Evan, thank you. Evan's team. Thank you.
Perfect. So we've got Ink and Lore, Adam, and Trevor and Brownell. Brownell. Is that just like your full government name? All right. As we ink a Demona to go ahead and play a
Yes.
I forgot it was Infinity, and I was like, a magic broom.
We're
Luke?
we're starting off so strong here. So if this is what I think it is, this could be two things. It could be Blurple or Purple Steel. My first guess would be Blurple because the cool things you could do in Infinity with the great one drops in purple plus the great blue cards that got added recently.
And we're just going to ink a goat and pass, and it doesn't matter what format that is or what deck it is, but that is not what you want to do with Amethyst cards and missing a one drop when your opponent just played a broom. Yeah. Elsa into the inkwell. Just kidding. That broom is safe to go on a quest, and here it goes. Are we using the ink? We're just going to take it slow. We're taking it slow. I have no idea what your other colors are. And if it is anything most like most Amethyst decks, it's just going to be mono Amethyst for a couple more turns.
Mono purple is possibly an option for Infinity. But see, we both the people here have inked Demonas so far, and we see a Tipo. All right, so we might have a Blurple Mirror here. Notably, you are very okay to not play Ramp in this deck.
Really? Because of just
the 3 costs and yeah.
Oh, and we see Bell, Snowfield Strategist, as we go ahead and
Cruella. Nothing.
We saw nothing at all. So this is the worst timeline for Trevor here. I don't know how much that broom is really going to help us here because we didn't even have a character to go ahead and take advantage of that effect where we can play and then pop the broom to draw a card. There, obviously it's Blurple, so we wanted to go 2-4. Oh gosh, as we sail the IC, so we have 2 ramping to Trevor's 0 ramping over here on Adam's side, as they do have the ability to go ahead and ink another card after trailing from sail.
So it's possible that our friend Trevor here is going to be playing Bell next turn and wanted to pop the broom to get the ink plus draw the card. Where Adam here played Peter Pan, expecting maybe Diablos in the Infinity format. It's kind of a necessary card because without Peter Pan, your first answer to Diablo would probably be Elsa or Genie at that matter. So.
Which is like not that great because then you draw it. You've already drawn so many cards at that point, so you do need a little bit of an answer. As we do see the goat is now in the inkwell as that Snowfield Strategist Bell comes in. We'll go ahead, pop the broom, banish it to draw a card, and then because we did that, we're able to put it into the inkwell. So that actually synergizes amazingly well. And I kind of what you were saying is all those one drops do really, really great with that Snowfield Strategist. So. Shut up, Bell.
All the on banish effects work really well with Bell. They work really well with Cruella. And then not to mention, you're kind of like an aggro deck with Blurple. You could get a lot of ink very quickly. Where Adam is playing more of a slower format here with the Peter Pans and the ramps. If you play a character each turn, this deck can curve out very strongly. So he has to be very afraid, though, of what other evasives are in Adam's deck. Iago could be an option here. So we just can't really turn things sideways in the fear of the Peter Pan's ability.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I definitely see that. Yeah, it has that ability that says all of your rush characters do gain evasive. We did see a Madam Mimfox going into the inkwell, which that is insane to just go ahead. Well, it's not the other one. The other one is, wait, this one is the one that gives evasive to
other,
okay, so
yeah,
other rush characters.
Have rush.
So I was thinking of Peter Pan's
Shadow.
Yeah. And we're just going to sing Friends on the Other Side here and draw our 2 cards.
We're so back. Seeing Friends on the Other Side sang is therapeutic to me.
I know. Definitely what you want to be doing in an Amethyst deck. Definitely the high that we have all been chasing ever since we've been playing core. But they're going ahead, singing those 2 cards. Wrong, Peter Pan. Get that out of here, Luke. What are you doing? As we do play the Elsa 5th Spirit coming on in, and we'll double challenge into that Bell, and she does put herself into the inkwell per her own ability. So good for her.
And see, even with all the ramping that Adam did, they're now equal on ink. So very, very important to note. So I guess the benefit of not having the 2-cost Tipo and the Sail the Azurite Sea in your deck is you get to put other cards in your deck now. Notably, like rabbits are back, fox, crab. It's a lot of cards to fit in. So not having a board, though, in this kind of matchup might be very difficult. So hopefully Trevor here can bounce back.
So what exactly would be what this deck is trying to look into? As we do have Sail in there. Just kidding. We have Sail where we're exerting 6 for 7.
For a Hades Infernal Schemer.
there is a little bit of a ink hidden down there at the bottom. So yeah, we got to that Hades first. So what is this deck kind of? Is it teched to fill into an amethyst mirror, or is it teched for something else specifically? As we go ahead and sing and Friends on the Other Side again to draw 2 more cards.
Well, at the moment, like in Infinity testing so far, which has gone terribly for me, you need to be really afraid of amber cards. And then also, these decks have a very strong weakness to Diablo. So having Hades in the deck, having Sail gets you to those Diablo answers a little bit quicker. And so maybe that's the path our opponents are our players are thinking here.
Yeah, because it definitely it's interesting to see what tech choices they have. Is I'm going to go ahead and Hades, your Hades. So we're right on par with Ink. We're right on par with all the Demonas and the Goats and everything else that are in the Inkwell at this point in time. As we did see over here on Adam's side, they played a Popsicle to go ahead and draw a card. So potentially item synergy, or just potentially that Popsicle is cracked in half. So we will go ahead, use that on the Elsa to then heal her, and she's feeling pretty good now.
Yeah, we're kind of where Blurple ended before rotation, having Bell in the deck, another way to help against aggro decks. So when we see Popsicle and Blurple, we're thinking Tamatoa, we're thinking Bell, 3-cost Bell that could be banish an item and play for free. So a lot of cool things that could be happening here in this kind of matchup. Now, I'm thinking an Into the Unknown might be coming out.
Absolutely. I was like, no, there's no way. There it is, Into the Unknown. I'm like, there's no way you just play the Elsa into the situation with 3 ink up. If you're not going to play Into the Unknown, good call, Fumbles. It's almost like you've played Blurple a couple times.
Yeah. So it's interesting now looking at Infinity. It's not really a Demona war, right? They're both already at 8 ink. So they could easily go pretty wide here after a Demona. So, and not to mention, Demona with 2 Elsas on board isn't that strong either.
Yeah, the Woodchuck's Guidebook coming down, immediately getting cracked, banished into the banished pile, and being able to draw 2 cards. So, I mean, we've already drawn 4 cards from 2 different Friends on the Other Sides, and now 2 more cards from that, as we do play the Tamatoa to get back the Popsicle and the Junior Woodchuck's Guidebook. We have drawn so many cards on Adam's side of the board, and I think that Trevor has just kind of inked a bunch.
Yeah. I mean, ink passing for the first 2 turns or 3 turns, I guess. They played Broom, ink pass, ink pass. Really rough in this kind of matchup because it looks like Adam here is kind of running away with it.
Absolutely. As we see him go ahead, banish the Popsicle to play the Bell Apprentice, Mystic Apprentice. She's doing stuff, but not things yet because she's not accomplished, as she comes in as a 3/3 just for free. So we just did the most amount with the ink, and Luke is going to get in my ear and be like, no, Amber Steel does more with less ink, but that's fine. We're talking about Blurple right now, Luke.
It's one of my favorite things about Blurple is just being ink efficient and beautifully using all 10 of his ink there. Pretty nice.
I just looked over at the chat.
I saw it. You shouldn't have done that.
Oh my goodness. As we see Let It Go being sang by Elsa, which is what is more flavorful than that. And again, like there's the Demona, no cards in hand, going ahead, exerting the Bell. Now Adam has the most cards in hand. Trevor finally being able to fill up their hand a little bit, because again, the resource disparity between Trevor and Adam in this game have been massive as the Chernobox followers makes its appearance. Aw. Just aw.
Now, can we see our players here fit in a Cheshire Cat? One of the strongest cards from Whispers in the Well. I don't know if it makes it into Infinity playable, but
I saw it inked earlier.
It was.
We immediately inked it on Adam's side, I do believe.
Gotcha. So could play around that. Really tough to really adjust to what could be coming from a Blurple mirror at this point. We saw goats earlier. We haven't seen any rabbits yet. There's a lot of items to draw here. So
yeah, and that's that's what I love about Infinity, because not only do you have to play around your working knowledge of what current set is going on, you have to play around your working knowledge of every card that has ever existed ever. And again, we're going to go ahead, play the Junior Woodchuck's Guidebook, go ahead, banish that immediately, draw more cards. So that is like 2, 4, 6, that's 8 cards that we've drawn to Trevor's 3 at this point as far as advantage. And we know before rotation, and I mean, God, even after when we were playing Second Star to the Right, card advantage is what wins these games. Was
Yeah,
it like the
and
war of attrition is what they always say.
Adam's gonna draw his whole deck here.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
currently on 5 cards drawn for turn. No,
Yeah.
4 cards.
Oh yeah, and we had the popsicles, so we've actually drawn even more than I mentioned between the two friends and the two woodchucks guidebooks, and then the popsicle twice. So yeah, why not? Let's take this Elsa in for a challenge, and then we're gonna go ahead and probably do the Cheshire Cat thing, or is it just a straight bell?
It
It's
is
a
a
Cheshire
Cheshire
Cat.
Cat.
And we go ahead, boost the cat immediately, do damage to that. Okay, so we left the damage onto the Elsa to go ahead and get rid of that. That is exactly what you were talking about with the Cheshire Cat, and probably the punish that you were worried about with the Chernobog's Follower only being a 2/1.
Yeah, we played the Chernobog's Follower because we had the ink available, and after the Demona had, nothing else to really play. But that's the weakness of Chernobog's Followers this late in the game. If you do remove it, you pretty much just minused your card out of your hand and got nothing for it.
Yeah, I used to like to save those a little bit for later if I needed to kind of flood the board. But this is either the 9th Woodchuck's Guidebook we have, or these are just the most eternal situations. And now this is what happens. This is why I love Infinity, because Adam has done so many things and just drawn so many cards in Trevor's face, and he's at 1 lore. And
Yeah.
Trevor's at 2.
This is certainly going to be a resource management sort of game here. We both players have 1 Demona down already. We have 1 on the side of Trevor. So, and another Demona inked here is pretty unfortunate.
We go ahead and let it go on
Has to be the
your bell, because we were worried about that bell more than we were worried
Demona's
about.
going to punch the Cheshire Cat. Gotcha.
So we just had all 4 Cheshire Cats, because I'm pretty sure Trevor inked 1 earlier. So I think on Trevor's side, we're either down to 1 or 0 Demonas left in their deck.
I believe it's 1. So
as a library comes down, go ahead, put that Demona onto the library, challenge it into the cat, have a little bit of damage on it. We're also going to put Elsa in there for funsies.
We're reading some books today.
Yep.
And banishing some Cheshire Cats. That's a really good boost. Got rid of a Tipo.
Just boost for fun. Get rid of the Tipo. Anytime you can get Tipo off the board is great for me. But we do have that healthy Elsa Spirit of Winter sitting there. But Adam has approximately 99% of their deck in their hands. So, and an egregious amount of ink, because just this is again, shout out to this format. Like, we're like 47 minutes, left in this round, and there's so much ink. There's so many cards in hand. There's so many options and ways that you can trip yourself up at this point. So the more cards you have in hand and the more ink you have, the more mistakes you can make.
Very true. I think it's also important that this is the best way to play Lorcana. Imagine not playing Sapphire and having 20 ink to play, because you get to play everything. You get to draw cards, you get to play characters, you get to play locations and attach to locations. How neat is that?
It's pretty neat, as we do see another popsicle coming down, drawing Adam another card. Now, this is the thing too, is like when you get to that situation, especially I liked when Sapphire Coil was running rampant. You guys didn't like it, but I loved it, because it also puts you in that position. You're like, do I need to ink this? Am I inking because I have to, or because I'm inking because I want to? And what number am I trying to get to? And at this point, I don't know anymore what the number we're trying to get to. Like, remember there was the heuristic of like, I wanted to be able to like play Tremaine, bounce, play Tremaine, like those are the heuristics that we were sitting to. So I needed to be at 14 ink to be able to like maybe double play Hades. I don't know. But at this point, it's like, what are we doing, guys? What's our goal?
It's pretty important to know that I'm pretty sure Adam no longer has to ink, but may ink. And I think it was important to say that Trevor probably didn't need to ink that second Demona.
Oh, this is so cool. He basically challenged in, challenged in with the Elsa, bounced the Elsa with the Fox, and then challenged him with the Fox, and then challenged it, because like that library is so much, and Elsa wasn't going to beat down them doors by herself, but she could do it twice with a Fox.
Yeah, and that's the scary part about locations. We have cards like Maui and Fox and Crab available for you in Infinity. So really risky to just chuck a location out anymore.
I do like that. Now, we do know that Adam has, again, like I said, his whole deck in his hands as we play another Elsa Spirit of Winter, going ahead, popping damage, more damage onto that other Elsa Spirit of Winter. It's Elsa on Elsa crimes as we use the popsicle to heal off this Elsa. Now, another thing to note is you were talking about the locations. One of the things that I do like to do, and it's not like I like to do it, but it's sometimes I do in pure desperation, is I will run a location out to buy myself a little bit more time. Because at that point, if you leave me with my location, especially library, you're leaving a bomb on the board. And if you try to ignore it, it gives me a little extra time to where you have to now divert your game plan to deal with this location, as opposed to what you wanted to do. So you basically bounced Elsa and did a whole bunch of stuff that turn to get rid of this location. And now that's given me time to draw this Hades. I was able to Hades your fox, get that out of here, and kind of keep moving in the game plan. So it is risky to run out locations, but at the same time, it is pressure.
Oof. Inking the followers to attach 2 characters here. Really all in on these libraries being the last form of card draw, but we're getting busy here. We're questing some Demonas. We're getting the lore in. So it's going to be pretty hard to remove these Demonas without Into the Unknown or Let It Go or Hades of their own. So hopefully Adam here could have some response to another library being played.
And we're just going to pop another Junior Woodchuck's guidebook and go ahead and just go find that response, because you know what? There's a myriad of it. And if you don't put Hideaway in your deck, put Cusco in your deck. Cusco's probably better, actually. Just
put Croquet Mallet, things like this color.
Croquet Mallet does what?
It's a 1-cost item that you banish and give a chosen character rush.
Oh, no. just play the Cusco.
That was played at some point.
You have an infinite
events.
amount of cards to play with Croquet Mallet.
Thank
It is
you
uninkable. My gosh.
But it's notably 1-cost item.
Sometimes you need a little bit more than that, as we do go ahead and challenge into the Elsa 5th Spirit of Winter, but she was on a library, so we will be able to draw a card from that. And again, we know that there's a ton of ways to go ahead and get damage off of our characters, but opting instead to use the bell to banish the popsicle.
Because I think a Tamatoa is coming down. Yeah. Or Hades, or both.
Tamatoa 8?
We do have all the ink.
Like Tamatoa 8?
Adam tapped everything. So
it's
okay. We have 7 for Hades. And then I believe this is a Demona.
Demona.
Woo! We have so much ink. Quick maths. I think we have 15 ink.
I said the magic number is probably 14, but I was absolutely wrong about that, because what is that? 6 plus 7? 6? What's
6, 7? Nice.
7?
Walked into that one.
Yeah. It's 13
but plus 2 more
so
for the popsicle. Yeah. And the something else. Guidebook pop? I don't know.
It was a lot.
Either way, we have a lot of ink is what we're finding out here.
It's too much. And again, this is like one of those things I love this format because it is so high power, and you're going to have to keep a track of that. Like, right. You're like, how many Demonas do you have left? I don't know. That was 30 years ago and you have 30 ink. So what is happening on here? But again, Adam is at an extremely commanding position with a Bell, a Hades, a Demona. Just kidding. That Demona is now gone. We don't have that anymore because Trevor just found their other Hades Infernal Schemer. And still has just 99% of their inkwell left to play around with. If we could just take our turn to flood the board as well.
Ooh.
Oh.
The important thing to note here is that I even forgot that, just because we inked all of our Demonas doesn't mean we can't still play a Demona, because we could pick them back up with Fox or other bounce cards that exist.
Fox coming in clutch here. Oh my gosh. This is good. This is peak Lorcana as we have an Into the Unknown going down onto the Elsa 5th Spirit, and what looks like an insane board with insane vantage on Adam's side. Now Trevor has just kind of systematically dismantled it, giving the diversity of the threats between the library, their Demona. They have a Fox now, and they have a Hades. So you're going to have to kind of split up the 1,000 cards in your hand with approximately 1 billion ink to now devote to these resources, because Trevor is at 8 and Adam is still just at 1. So these locations are giving you a little bit of an incremental edge.
Yeah. Notably, if I was playing in Continentals last year, Blurple would have been what I played as well. Right at the end, post-rotation, or not post-rotation, pre-rotation, post-Hiram ban.
Oh, yeah. That was definitely...
Was it Hiram ban yet? Luke?
Yeah, it was, because I know that R&B piloted Blurple to a pretty high finish there. So,
no, it was pre-ban. Yeah, I said that. I said it, and I realized that didn't sound true. But the problem with Hiram was that everybody was playing like very anti red blue, even though red blue also made top 16 quite easily. So
because it's red blue. Let's go. Oh man, those were the days. Not anymore though. As we sit here and just take
Many a
like,
year
what is
ago.
this? This is so much ink. We've got it separated into just like, piles of an egregious amount here. So we're probably thinking through our lines. Again, I know we have drawn an uncount, like I was keeping count of the amount of cards that Adam drew, and then I lost the plot. So we are going to go ahead and exert it back again, and play a Hades Infernal Schemer onto your Hades Infernal Schemer. Get those out of here.
The Hades trading is real.
Yeah,
With
and we're just going to
Elsa.
go ahead and I guess, sure, we'll play an Elsa Fifth Spirit. I guess I'll just tap your, I don't know why you seem so upset about it. He's like, I guess I'll just tap down that. And then I'll just play another Peter Pan. And we're going to give our characters with Rush Evasive, which is really funny.
Other way around. We're going to give our evasive characters Rush.
Dang it.
But notably, all of those evasive characters have Rush already.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're already kind of like rushy. And now are we just going to throw it all straight into that library? Yeah. Look how many resources it took to do that, right? Like running out those locations are kind of problematic and a little bit scary to do, but the amount of resources that it takes to kind of just control one location is a lot.
Sure, but you also control the board here, because we're going to be probably banishing this fox. That Demona is going to probably ready. Yeah.
Maybe.
And so one character versus 5, 6. Yeah, because there's one up at the top there. Still pretty difficult. Oh, and guess what? Just throw another bell on top.
We just full retail value the bell, slam it on there. Now that's the thing, is it's kind of been, this is where we're starting to see all of that early to mid game card draw paying off for Adam, right?
Color, do you know what the last card in Trevor's hand is?
It is second star to the right.
It is a Demona that was bounced.
Oh, right. No. And we just ink a fox because we're going to play the Demona to be able to get the full value off of the Demona, which is the drawing, the 3 cards. See, fumbles. I would never. I'll show you a picture of where you are, and then you have to remember it. I'm gone. I'm lost. I need a new adult. I live in a new area.
Adam has 9 lore on board. So if we can't start banishing some things here, I believe this Demona will probably take out that damaged Hades, as it seems like the best value target. And then we have, what is that, 8 ink left available, 10 ink maybe. These numbers are too high. Cusco.
Hey, it is Cusco. Hey, the guy running all of the location, make sure that they use
Cusco's
the location. Hey, Cusco's effect does resist.
Yes, it gives plus for his other characters, so it would not give resist to his characters or himself. It gives +1 resist. And it's by invite only.
Let it go. That's actually awesome that you know that, and awesome because now they have resist. So if you do anything to kind of turn those sideways, you're going to have to throw a lot of stuff into these Demonas just to be able to get rid of them. Because notably, the only thing with any substantial strength on them is the Hades and the 2 bells, which you're kind of fine with that. I guess I just throw both of my bells in there, but that still wouldn't do it.
I mean, at the moment, I think Adam's best route to success here is just questing out.
Yeah. Don't even worry about it. We're past the control game. Trevor only has like 1 card in hand. So again, shout out to using the ability on Cusco. Like again, anytime you see that, it's one of those like secret abilities that nobody pays attention to. And I'm pretty sure that is it's a
popsicle.
Drawing more cards. And again, this is where we're seeing that mid to early game card draw advantage just paying off, as being able to flood the board and pass, deal with your board, flood the board and pass. And Trevor has just not been able to keep up on card advantage, as Adam gets confused as to how, is this my entire inkwell? Is this the whole thing? Or
it is the entire length of Adam's desk right now. That is true.
Mm-hmm. And you just kind of like full hand turn a pile sideways, and you're like, that's approximately 7 ink. So that's insane.
It's like guys holding fish. This is my ink.
Yeah. It's just, this is my ink. And you're like, I don't even know.
Honestly, it's the only time I've seen my dad smile is holding a fish, but I would smile if I was holding about 20 ink here. So
that is something that I've known that is a goal of yours, to see how much ink you can get into the inkwell. And again, who doesn't want to do that? Who doesn't want to play like double things to triple things to quadruple things in 1 turn? Like, you know what? If you want game actions, have the ink. You can.
Ooh,
But these are
Toa.
Amber. Tamatoa is secretly coming down over there, being able to grab back, I don't know, these popsicles in a Junior Woodchuck's guidebook, because like that's literally 3 cards. So
Interesting that we chose to grab a popsicle and a guidebook. When we could have grabbed either 2 popsicles or 2 guidebooks.
I think we're basically saying I'm going to go ahead and dig 2 cards deeper. If I don't find what I need, I guess I'll just go ahead and play the popsicle, because maybe if I do 2 guidebooks and then I don't have the ink I need to go ahead and do what I want.
Has
Because
7 ink, 8,
I was
9
saying,
ink available.
like, yeah, because I think if you even if you ink, you could still play a Hades, but I don't know how many Hades we have left in our deck, because we've seen, at least 6
We're pretty low on
this in-game.
Hades at least.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Definitely seen a lot of Hades played on the side of Adam. But like what we got?
Popsicle. The popsicle, going ahead, drawing another card. Really trying to conserve our ink here, because again, like I said, that was going to cost you 3 to do the guidebook. So I think maybe we just have another guidebook as we exert 3 ink to maybe Into the Unknown, your Demona, or we're just going to play Cheshire Cat.
Yeah.
Okay. Play in Cheshire Cat, move some of the damage from our Hades onto your Demona to be able to cleanly trade with nothing.
Still doesn't make the trade easy. Depends what we're doing here. Yep, forgot the boost, so we're gonna make sure we get that boosted card under. And we're gonna play a crab, which will do it.
That'll do it.
Yep. So hits for 6 with the resist. So -1 would hit for 5, but since there's 2 damage onto the Demona, banish it.
That was the most work to get rid of 1 Demona, and now you can just kind of full quest.
But did put 3 lore on board, which is pretty important.
Wild. The things that you can do with 72 ink. Look at that, guys. We played a Tamatoa. We played some popsicles. We popped the popsicle. Now we have a healed Hades. So if you throw out any of Cheshire Cats of your own, you have to be challenging. You can't do any damage moving shenanigans. So this is gross. Y'all get mad at discard. This is what happens when you draw too many cards.
Yeah. And we're trying to clean up this board state. Too many characters is the actual weather report here.
That's rude. Ugh. Ew.
The deck of ink here.
Yeah. He's like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not
and
sorry.
the popsicle
I'm not
over
sorry.
there.
Yeah. The one lone popsicle.
Actually has it all.
Yeah.
It's quite a nervous moment here for Trevor, because this turn, we need a big miracle here. We're already out of Demonas. We know that. So we need some way to recur this Demona and be able to remove a lot of the lore on board, because Adam is threatening lethal here.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How'd you get to 18? What?
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And then Tamatoa just went into the inkwell from the Let It Go.
Yeah. But remember, we're playing goats too. Or the could be playing goats. So, sorry. I guess I should include that. Every time I think an Amethyst deck gets to 18 in Infinity, I think it's over. Oh, we inked a goat, though.
We inked a goat to go ahead and use Cusco's ability 82 times onto the Demona.
Aww.
And we are going to go ahead and challenge into the Hades, getting rid of them, and then challenging into the Bell, I'm assuming, to get rid of that, because everything is quite evasive.
I believe he challenged twice into the Hades to banish it. And then since Cusco's effect does not work on himself, he takes 3 damage in return.
That's right,
All
because
right, so we
Demona is a
5/6.
She's not a 6/5. That's Goliath, and I get confused every time. She should have hands.
So we actually have some really, really clean trades here. We could send Crab into the Cusco. Crab buffs Bell and takes out the Demona and quest for 4 just on that. And then what are we thinking here? Yeah, we use the resist 3 times. So 3 resist on the Demona still exists. We could just ignore the Demona. But we will choose to move 2 damage to the... we have too much ink. We had to remember that our ink deck is over there.
Unhinged, as we go ahead and either find another Hades Infernal Schemer or just play the 2 goats and then we win. Okay, so we just win. All right.
Well, we will
No,
win.
because
We
we
don't
took
have
the 4 off there.
we
Yeah,
don't
okay,
have
I
it at the
understand.
moment, but wow, that's a pretty powerful turn.
Went ahead, cleared off your board, got to keep our
Quest for
crab, didn't even have
6.
to, quest for 6, and then play 2 goats and pass. And play a Tamatoa for the funsies.
Yeah, no, certainly
Unhinged.
for the vibes. We're playing this
Yeah.
Tamatoa for the vibes for sure.
And then he's like, nah, I'm just kidding. I'll take it back. I just won't
I
be the
don't think
worst.
Adam had enough ink there, but we're just gonna scoop it up, go to game 2 here. Wow, that looked very strong from Adam's side. Looked a little rough in the beginning for Trevor, so maybe he could bounce back here in game 2.
Yes. Now, and I will say there is that situation where at first it did look a little rough because obviously inking and passing on turns 2 and 3 is like not great. And so in the mid game, they were starting to kind of keep on par. But the problem is Adam was drawing so many cards, and I don't know what kind of card draw that Trevor's deck has available to them. I don't think they
We
were
did not
seeing
see a
friends other friends.
Tamatoa.
We didn't see
did
the
not see
Tamatoa.
friends.
We didn't see friends. We didn't see popsicles. Really, the only card advantage that we are like kind of getting out here was replaying those Demonas. And maybe in certain situations against other decks, that's fine. But if you're in an Amethyst Mirror that is just drawing an egregious amount of cards, we didn't even see the Cusco. Not that Cusco. We saw the other Cusco. But again, so if you're not drawing the cards and keeping par with that advantage, it's going to be hard and it'll get you in the long run. That's literally an illegal card in this deck, Luke.
and we will note that it's 30 minutes left in the round, 29 minutes exactly now. So it's not a lot of time to deal with if the games go long like that. So need to be cautious of that in these kind of matchups.
Not this Cusco either. Stop it.
You could be playing this Cusco. Returns an item 2 or less, or character 2 or less.
2 or less.
I have a
Cowards.
local
Printed.
who is very fond of Cusco Whale.
I mean, if that said 3 or less, I would be down. I would not even hesitate.
Yeah, but you could bounce back your popsicle and draw a card.
Sure.
So Cusco, you draw a card for the owner of the card that gets bounced back gets to draw a card.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could bounce back your popsicle.
And then you can just play friends on the other side. Sorry.
Yeah, but you get to gain 2. And you could play Magic Feather and then bounce back Magic Feather. It has evasive. You can do a lot of cool things.
Okay. All right. That's fair. All right. You got me.
Ink spikes. Come on, Color. Get in the kitchen and start cooking a blurple. That came out wrong at start, but we're just gonna move past that one.
Clip it! You guys get him! There's a bunch of you here, and you literally just heard Fumbles tell me to get in the kitchen. That is insane.
Oh boy.
His career was so short.
Well,
oh my God,
thank you for having me on the channel, Wonderland. Okay, we have Broom start here.
Nice. Broom on
for
Trevor.
So same start as last game. Hopefully we can have more follow-up here.
Oh, that's so good. All right. Yeah, we're gonna see. I mean, Adam did opt to ink and pass the turn 1. They're not doing that 1 drop strategy, but as we see them immediately go ahead, throw a crab down in the inkwell and play a popsicle to draw a card, which is
April
amazing.
Fools, of course.
Yeah. April Fools, say it, April Fools. Yeah. All right. And now here we go. I know you said that there wasn't any T-pos, but we did see Sail in their deck last time.
We did see Sail.
But we inked our favorite card, which is the library. And it looks like we probably will go ahead and quest here and maybe play a T-po, and we're doing better. Yeah, we're doing better.
And you could activate Broom's effect first to then choose what to ink. If you wanted to banish Broom, draw a card, and then you could choose to resolve T-po in that way. But we do not opt to pop our Broom here because there's no real threat to Broom being banished here.
That is my favorite thing I ever learned from Dave Attack for 2 is watching Amethyst players and how they manage their brooms. And that is a sign. That is a sign of somebody who plays this game.
How you manage your 1-drops is really probably one of the highest levels of this deck. In specifically before Infinity was really a format, but it's still very okay. All
right. And we can go ahead and move the Broom to the library.
Yes. We can't banish our broom yet, though.
No.
But we could choose to quest here and would still get some sort of value. There could be some reason to not quest this broom. We saw our opponent here plays Peter Pan Shadow Finder. There we go. And then could also play 1-drop Fox to banish the broom. So you would deny 1 card draw here.
I see. So you were trying to potentially make sure that you get at least the 2 cards off of it. But at this point, I guess if you divert your entire turn to then trying to deal with this broom, I'm sort of fine with that, I think. Then again, I don't play Blurple, so I don't know.
Yeah. All right, and inking our goat here because we don't really need this. We are probably going to banish the broom here.
Oh! Going for the Tipo and opting to be able to heal that off with the popsicle and, just getting the Tipo off of the board, but not giving you the 1 card, instead opting you to let you draw 2 cards.
Yeah, and I see, speaking of people who played a lot of Blurple before rotation, R&B in the chat speaking about how sick it was to play. It was a lot of fun, the deck before rotation happened.
Yeah, that was definitely, I was still like clinging tight to Ruby Amethyst, and I was doing fine until I ran into this deck. And I was like, no, as we do head, quest the broom, play a Chernobog's Followers, pop the broom, draw the 2 cards, doing the professional thing of tippity tapping it in your face because I got to draw the 2 cards, and play a Chernobog's Followers, sail the Azurite Sea, draw another card. Here we go, Trevor. This is what you were missing last game. This is it. You needed to draw cards, and Adam furiously shuffling in the face of all these 1-drops.
And saw the name Ink and Lore and really wanted to challenge him on the ink this game. Saw that his opponent might have had 300 ink last game, but now, wow, wants to help him out, catch back up to him.
By playing Into the Unknown straight on to that Peter Pan Shadow Finder. I don't know, man. Peter Pan's doing too much. He's got too many things he's doing. He's finding shadows. He's losing shadows. He is a shadow. At this point, I just love what I see on Trevor's side of the board. Again, I mean, we have 23 minutes left in this round, but we are at 5 lore. And unless Adam starts doing stuff and things, this library is going to kind of run away with the game.
Yeah. It's one of the strongest cards right now in core into the Amethyst mirrors because there's not enough rush characters. The strongest rush character really being Sven. There's some others that just aren't really able to be making it into the decks. But in this format, library is very fragile. But when you have no board, it's very strong.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that was the thing, right? That's the delicate dance of having libraries and Queen's Castles and other locations in your deck, is playing to the board, drawing your opponent's resources as thin as possible, and then slamming a bunch of them, as we see a Tamatoa. Which one is this one? Happy as a clam, straight onto the board. He's going to get back that popsicle that we played on turn 1.
Only getting back 1 item, but we desperately need a body on board to start fighting this library and start combating with it, because that's already gotten 6 lore or 5 lore or something like that. It's gotten a lot.
We're putting a broom in the library, and then we're going to quest, and then we're going to pop it. And we're, yeah, but we're still drawing 2 cards.
Yeah.
Same place. Lore, 2 cards. Library.
All right, and we are playing rabbits.
Cards.
Nice. One of my favorite things to do right now is Olaf, the 2/1, and rabbit, and that way you could bounce back your rabbit with it. Very fun.
Yeah. See, I told you, when Olaf was printed, I was like, yo, is this card not broke, like cracked in half? And everybody was like, this card stinks. And I was like, there's no way. There's no way. As we played a Junior Woodchuck's guidebook, and basically Trevor looked at last game and went, you will not out-resource me. And we didn't see Rabbit last time. We didn't see Guidebook last time. We didn't get to see Chernobog's Followers last time.
We didn't see a lot of card draw outside of Demona. Yeah, it was really rough.
It was really, really difficult. And this has been a completely different game. I think Trevor maybe altered their hand, thinking they weren't going to run into the literal mirror. And I think I spent, 2 hours today screaming about how much I hate the Blurple mirror. And I'm having fun right now, Fumbles. This is fun.
No, this is awesome. We get to see a chess match almost of punches back and forth. And right now, Trevor is currently winning this matchup. So Adam, drawing some cards here, could have used Tamatoa's effect to play this popsicle for free, but probably needs to start punching this library. with
think
those big chompers claws.
yeah, if anybody could take out the library, it would be him. But then he'd get in there and he'd be like, "This is just a bunch of books. I don't want to be here anymore." So I think potentially maybe we were looking for a crab that could come in, buff that up just a little bit more. That's still not enough to do it. Like that's insane. You know what I mean? Like that giant crab plus that other crab is not enough to take out the library. So they're just kind of like snap crackling at all the books. Not going to really be able to do much here. Again, there are some rush characters available, but not for 3. So is it going to just, we're going to hard play friends on the other side because we need this Tamatoa to challenge, but we also need to be able to keep up with the amount of cards that Trevor has. Crab,
Peter Pan, Shadow Finder. So we're going to deal 6 to this library. That's pretty good. We should be able to take it out next turn. But if my opponent played Popsicle and Hard-Casted Friends, I'm feeling pretty good about that.
That is, I mean, paying 3 to draw 2 cards that seemed like a punishment back before rotation, and now it would be a dream in core, but this is infinity. It's a punishment. All right, and this pop, like we're gonna go ahead, pop the guidebook, draw 2 more cards. We got a rabbit on the table. It's probably gonna do stuff and things, or I could just run it in for fun. Who knows? It's like whatever. Like back in the day, it's like what you did with your rabbit.
You could grab this rabbit here, attach it. You could play Demona, Hades. Wow, so many things.
Just Hades straight onto the crab, not even worried about it, as we will just go on a quest. I don't care. Again, you're like, I can just quest this rabbit and I don't have to like worry about bouncing it back because the amount of card advantage in Amethyst in this format is gross.
Yeah. So we really haven't seen crab too much in this matchup, but that was a really strong crab line if it was there available for Trevor. But Hades, of course, just as strong. Just removed a character instantly. Pretty strong.
Hades pretty strong. This just in.
That's actually his new sub name. Yeah. Hades pretty strong.
Yeah, Infernal Schemer pretty strong.
And here comes the Hades of Adam's side, inking the Hades and banishing the library with the Peter Pan Shadow Finder. Great comeback here. And now suddenly is also winning the board.
Yeah, that's definitely, I mean, that's why I'm enjoying this. I'm not yelling about it just because it's not that like, hey, did I get Elsa? Did I get Genie? Now I lose. Now there's lines that open up. These decks both opened up completely differently. We opened up with Popsicle on Adam's side. We opened up with a bunch of 1-drops on Trevor's side. And now it's just who can continue to maintain that advantage and then win 2 games in the next 18 minutes.
All right.
Elsa Fifth Spirit coming down, exerting that Hades. Hopefully, maybe we have a crab. That'd be kind of cool. Just kidding. It's a second Elsa.
Wow. It's interesting. A lot of Elsa happening right now, and we're gonna challenge into the Peter Pan. Take out Peter Pan here. Now we do choose to quest our rabbit. It is important to note that I probably didn't need to quest this rabbit. One of the key factors in the Amethyst matchup back in the day was keeping your rabbits alive is how you won the game. But I think we want to draw a card here because if our turn was 10 ink, we're going to play 2 Elsas. That last card, if it's not a Demona, we probably need to draw some cards.
Yeah, looking like, I mean, I think that's, I'm kind of with you on that. Like maybe if that is a Demona, then I feel a little bit safer about this rabbit quest. If it's not a Demona, then I'm just going, I don't care. So, and that's my professional opinion on that. Now we are staring down the barrel of 2 Popsicles on this side. Hades can go ahead and cleanly take out that rabbit and then heal it. And then you've got like a okayly healthy one because rabbit is 4-3?
A 2-3. And healed the Hades fully.
He's a 2-3?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because you could brawl him. What was I thinking of? Like him being a 4-3 would be insane. That's actually Fox. What was I thinking?
All right. Looks like we're gonna be playing a Tamatoa here to get back 2 Popsicles.
Oh, nope, it's another Hades. As we did go ahead, rush in a Peter Pan Shadows Fighter to take care of the rest of that Elsa, and then we healed it off again. So we have fully healed characters, 2 Popsicles into the discard pile, and 2 Hades and a Peter Pan. My goodness, that was a good turn.
Yeah, I saw the Popsicles being popped there, and I was really thinking, oh wow, we're gonna play a Tamatoa and get 2 Popsicles. But,
that's the answer. You have another rabbit. That's why you don't care about questing that rabbit. You got another one.
Pretty true.
Do the thing. Do the thing. Do the thing. Do the thing. He's doing the thing. He's not doing the thing.
He's doing the thing the other way.
The other way. He's taking out, bouncing it also with the Madam Mim Fox, putting it back to hand, replaying it, and potentially going ahead and doing taking out Hades?
If we are 10 lore, 11 lore up on our opponent here,
I'm bouncing that rabbit.
I kind of want to bounce the rabbit. Yeah.
Stop controlling the board. Draw cards. What are you doing? Do you have... Oh. We had a second fox.
I'm not a big fan of emptying our board to gain some lore here to draw some cards, but
we're fine. I think we had 2 foxes in hand, we had 2 rabbits in hand, and we had a guidebook. I think Trevor had a plan, and we're now down to Hades because, again, I mean Hades is a notoriously difficult card for Blurple to deal with just in a good old-fashioned challenge standpoint.
Alternatively, you could just bounce the Elsa, you could then bounce the rabbit and still have 2 lore on board and put yourself towards 13. It's pretty scary when you just cleared your own board and gave your opponent the chance to quest to 3. So
the Blurple player and Fumbles is in shambles as we do ready our ink and start our turn with the ability to draw 2 cards, but we're not doing that because we're drawing cards with Genies. Okay, so then we're going to draw our cards with the Junior Coach Guidebook to draw another card, That's because it says 2 cards. And then we still have the ability to play the rabbit because we do have that in hand. So we could draw another card. I'm here for it. Boom, there it is. Okay, so we had a plan all along. We needed to get the Hades off the board to potentially go ahead and spin this turn, refilling our hand as we play a Sail the Azure Sea and hopefully get to our Hades. Because, again, the second plan of our game plan, we had kind of ran out of gas there for like half a second.
I think we're hoping to get some Demonas and Goats going here because we're pretty close to a win. We saw Adam ink 2 Goats already. So we're closer to the end here than we think. So 4 lore on board. I think that Adam has a pretty strong turn ahead of him here. Was holding on to 1 card for quite some time. Could be another Hades here, but really needs to start getting aggressive on the questing.
Yeah, we are at 3 with Adam on the left side, and Trevor now has 4, 11. I can't count, but we do play another Elsa Spirit to immediately go ahead, exert that Genie, and take it out cleanly, leaving us with a rabbit and a broom. Oh dear. Adam seems to be kind of clawing back in this situation.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough here. I know that looks intimidating when I see 2 Elsas, a Peter Pan. They're winning the Evasive War, which doesn't matter too much in Infinity, I'd say. There aren't cards like Dumbo probably in these decks. I don't know if they could fit them in, but...
If he plays a Dumbo, I'll crash out. Okay, he will go ahead, quest the broom, and then play a goat to go up 1 lore, be able to then banish the broom to draw another card. You guessed it. Trevor said, I'll never not draw cards ever again, especially here on the ICL, because I'm going to play a Genie, which should feel to draw another card. Okay, so the first game was just literally awful for them because they've done nothing but draw cards. But again, in this situation, Adam has not been keeping up on that card draw advantage. So it really is a war of attrition as we play the Demona after inking a Demona and a Cusco, refilling our hand. Now our board looks better than your board.
Well, the board looks pretty strong. And so guaranteed going to have at least 15 lore if he were to remove this entire board. So a lot of willpower there. And again, we still have to deal with this Genie. We're 2 Elsas down. It's looking pretty scary here.
Yeah, I mean, and this is crazy because our board is a lot wider, but 14 with that wide of a board, and it's a guaranteed 15 because if you do anything to that goat, you're going to gain a lore. That's how goats work. So
that's how we goat.
Yeah. So throwing down a goat when you're like, you're like 19, you're at 18, you throw down a goat and you're like, ha, and then they win out from under you, and that's a problem. But then anyway, that's fine. That's the Amethyst way. Oh man, as Adam takes a little bit of time here to think about their potential lines, and at this point, I think one of the things I do love about casting Infinity is like you could think about their potential lines, but then you're going to end up looking like that meme from Always Sunny, where like Charlie Day is like with the string, and it's because there's an infinite amount of cards that you could sit here and think about. So we don't have 1 billion ink; we only have 500 million ink as compared to last game. So our options are a teeny bit limited, and we haven't been drawing as many cards as last game either. So we kind of have to sit here and think about what our plan is.
Yeah. There's some other reach cards we could be looking out for. We could be looking out for the Madam M Truly Marvelous as another way to reach and end this game.
You good? You happy? You proud of yourself?
I'm a little proud of myself.
That's not.
Nope.
That's
Nope.
a snake. That is an actual snake, which is a reasonable
I just wanted
card.
to challenge Luke here to pull up the right Madam M.
Yeah.
No.
I made the mistake of calling this the hot mem, and I know.
That's no, I've said worse today.
The fashionable mem. April Fools, as we do play the Cheshire Cat to go ahead and do some challenging, move some damage around, put that onto the genie, and then play an Elsa Fifth Spirit to exert the genie, then crash it in and challenge and finish off that genie. So right. Adam taking a lot of time to think of the exact right line that kind of kept them in this game as we go and exert everything onto a quest, getting ourselves up to 9 lore.
We have the chance to get to 17 here. Goat bounce goat would get you to 19.
Truly marvelous that this card is a card.
Yeah, it's a card that I've played in events before.
Go ahead, play another rabbit, question mark? I don't know. Could be the same rabbit, could be a different rabbit. We don't know. That's the nature of this, but it's not that. As we found a goat to go up to 15 here. So we can go 15, 16, 17, 18. Interesting.
No bounce.
Hold on.
We're going to throw our entire board out here. This is looking quite bad. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
We scoop it up because we have 9 minutes left. He said, Adam took a look at the board and just did the table math and was like, literally, no. Oh my God. As we scoop it up, Trevor taking game 2 and going to a game 3 with approximately 9 minutes left in the round.
All right. We get to see some speed Kana here.
Okay. Speed
Very
Kana.
excited.
Now, I think that the Speed Kana is in Trevor's favor just because of the amount of 1-drops that they have available to them. So I am just like full shipping until I just have a handful of T-Pos and 1-drops. Thoughts and libraries.
We're seeing actually a good lack of 1-drops in Adam's deck. That is a path you can take because your 1-drop is kind of Bell with the popsicle.
Oh, I meant Trevor. Trevor is just
sure.
1-drops.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Trevor has the advantage in the 1-drop department.
Right. Got it. And then we have the Bell on the other side, which is the only way to kind of really counteract that. So Bell and a Fox potentially. So Popsicle, Bell, Fox is really how we keep you from library cheesing us out of this game in 8 minutes.
Yeah, but Adam is on the play here. Could play Bell with the Popsicle, sing Friends. That's a pretty strong start. Knowing your Bell can't really be banished in return. Looks like we're putting 4 back.
Yeah, notably, though, we have Trevor and Adam, and who are you thinking? And we got a little bit of kid aggro over there. Love that for Adam. I understand that with all of my being.
Got to go to Adam here to fight through that, having 2 opponents at the same time.
That is actually what it is. And I think the kid is actually clapping, which is like adorable in some instances, but also a sensory nightmare when you're trying to focus with 7 minutes, 30 seconds left in a round where if you didn't shuffle your deck good, you're cooked. So, oh, man. Not the tapping.
Tapping.
Little one. I know. Mine always runs over and I'm like, oh my God, I love you. And then I grab her face and I push her away from the camera and then I give her a hug because
give her the hug. Right. Okay. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Because
I don't want April Fools at the end of that too.
Okay. Well, because I don't want her on camera.
No, that makes sense.
And she'll dive in here and give us a show. So I gotta
kidless, I can't really fully relate, but I'll understand what you're saying.
Don't do it, Fumbles. As we play a 1-drop broom, we have not missed a 1-drop here, and I think that is the
broom
benefit
on
of
one
having
both time, all 3 games for Trevor. Pretty strong.
As we are going to go sail the Azurite Sea on to over here on Adam's side, which means our broom is safe to quest. Maybe hoping to draw a T-Po. Maybe it's not in our deck, or maybe the kid over there took it. The kid took the kid as we ink a goat and put it into our inkwell, because that's what you do when you ink.
We did have some support come by. It looks like kid has been picked up.
We got it. As we do go ahead, ink a turn about his followers. Kid's back. We're gonna go ahead and ink that. Oh, we ended up popping the broom. Interesting there.
Sequencing error, but all of the matter is still probably fine. They certainly wanted to ink that card. They inked it very quickly.
As they did, yeah, they did ink that one very quickly, got it right out of their hand. But at the same time, we did see them ink a Turner Box followers to then play the Tipo to pop the broom, and we could have been head on board. I don't think Trevor got the oops all aggro memos. We go ahead and run out of just a full goat. That's our turn 4. Is it just a goat?
Would make me think that the hand isn't that strong, but we've seen Adam now. We're both playing goats on 4 ink. Okay, goat for a goat.
I know that Adam inked a goat. Also opting to ink the Turner Box followers. Maybe Trevor has a different plan than what I would do, because again, I played Blurple and I'm bad at it. So let's see what Adam is going to do as response. We're just going to sing Friends on the Other Side, which is going to help us maybe flood the board in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah. Short on time here, but not short on the goats, it seems, this game. Both players playing goats, one inking a goat, so had 2 goats at least. Seen what we could do here. We just drew 2 cards off of Singing Friends on the Other Side. Hopefully we could have some response here. A fox to pick up the goat is a possible line here. Banish the Tipo, and then goat would have to trade in. We're going to ink the fox to play the Elsa and just take out this Tipo.
Absolutely. I think maybe in this situation, thinking that returning things to your hand is very, very strong, especially if it is the goat, but returning things into your hand means negative board presence in this 4-minute and 30-second battle that we have here. Who do you think's going to win? Is it going to be the clock?
I do think clock is going to win this one, but we're going to see here. We're trying to go fast. We are the aggressor right now.
We did go ahead, play the Madam Mim Fox on Trevor's side to put the goat back into our hand to then ink. Do not ink the goat. I don't even know what it is. As we go ahead and ink the library, I think that's a pretty fair thing to say as we trade in the goat to your goat, now leaving us with nothing on the board.
Yeah, important to get rid of the goat for a few reasons here, but I don't think we needed to. Again, if we're trying to quest pretty quickly, I think I would like to keep that goat around, or the fox around. So
yeah, because now that Elsa is free, safe, and clear to quest, noting that Trevor will only be going up to 6 ink in their next turn, which is not 7 ink, which is not a Hades, but we do throw a popsicle into here because we are making some very interesting choices as Adam plays a Peter Pan Shadow Finder, kind of going on this evasive train, questing out the Elsa and getting all the way up to 3 lore to Treble's 5 lore. It gets difficult in the days ahead of us.
5 ink. Are we going to be responding with our own Elsa here? We are. We can't banish anything, so I think this Elsa is just going to be staring at her friends in the sky.
The nimbly bimbly, as it were. I don't know if evasive is flying or if it just means they're real agile, but we do see that we have the 2 evasive characters on Adam's side. They are going ahead and exerting and showing Trevor their full inkwell as we played another Elsa Fifth Spirit going, oops, all evasives crashing in, taking out that other Elsa, leaving Trevor with not a lot on the board, and Adam commanding the nimbly bimbly space of evasive.
Yep.
I don't know.
All right.
Flying.
We got to try to fight back here. Looks like we're going to play another Elsa. We're going to take out the Peter Pan. We've seen not too many other evasives on Adam's side. So it makes me question how strong this Peter Pan really is. We could go after the Elsa instead. We've seen Cheshire Cat. Still pretty scary here, but
again, we have to also make sure we don't lose the plot and realize that there's 2 minutes and 8 seconds left in this round. We do go ahead and opt for the Cheshire Cat.
Some people might be thinking this is core. This is indeed Infinity.
We were live to fumbles as we see that Cheshire Cat moving that damage over there, getting rid of that Elsa Fifth Spirit, and once again leaving Trevor's board a little lonely.
Color, this is what we've been staring at for the last 6 months, 7 months. What's happening?
I just talked about how strong and cool it was up until this point. You guys get any type of pressure, that clock starts getting down, and you start playing core cards and reverting back to what we know best. I hate it here. As we go ahead, ink a Tipo, that's fine with me. You've redeemed yourself, and we'll into the unknown on literally one of your Elsas.
The more damaged one makes sense.
Yeah. Because what if you just Cheshire Cat for the rest of this 1 minute and 20 seconds?
Quite possible. We're not getting any lore, though, yet. So we're going to sing some friends.
Singing friends with the cat, taking a tour of our deck.
What I like best, not questing. It's my favorite thing to do is not quest. So
I was about to say, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, we need to go fast, but the beginning of the game, that pressure is gone and we're not going fast. So we're just going to do a bunch of game actions that involve questing a little bit, but also taking ourselves off of the board, resetting that Elsa, turning it sideways, and being able to take out your goat. So Adam, again, taking full game actions and turns to just, not win the game, but just not let Trevor win the game.
Yeah, no. That is a valid strategy in some way. I think we are going to try to. Do we have no cards in hand on Trevor's side? So a little scary here. And our opponent here has 3 cards in hand. So
this is gonna be 1-1-1, or is it just gonna be the chat's like, I'm gonna be rich after tonight? What are y'all doing over there? What are y'all doing as we go ahead and throw Tipo into the inkwell and play a card potentially, but at this point I have no idea what these players are going to do. Like, because has to be time in the round, or unless the clock is just like an idea. Like, it's like sometimes it's correct, sometimes it's not. Luke can let us know.
I believe it'd be time in round now because we're really thinking about our play now. You saw the slogan. Yeah,
it's about time. Thank you for the precise and accurate uptime. So this should be turn 0. So that's why we've slowed down here and made sure that we counted our ink 6 or 7 times to make sure that we still have ink. As we hear someone passing by Fumble's window.
That is a motorcycle that went by.
Fumble, shout out to living in the city.
All right, production, pull up the motorcycle.
Yeah, right. Oh my goodness.
Tapping a lot of ink here. Is this going to be a Hades? Hades onto Rabbit. Still gets to draw a card.
That is now 1 card in hand with a lonely Chernabog's followers as we do go ahead and play out the Tipo. Tipo aggro opting to go ahead and ink 1 card out of our hand and to send the other ones on a quest. Now we are up in par. We are 7 to 7 ink with approximately how much ink on the board?
How much?
Lore. Sorry,
lore. 4. We go to 11. So turn 1 now, turn 2 could go to 11, turn 3, turn 4 can get to, say that board stays alive, 15, and then plus whatever's played. So it could throw a possible win here in Adam's way, but it does seem quite off the track here for Trevor.
Trevor has now went ahead and exerted that Chernabog's followers. My goodness. Drew a card, then played a broom, then drew this other thing, and now we are sitting here with, again, nothing on the board except for a library.
And unfortunately, library will not be enough to flip this game. So if we're on turn, that'd be turn 2. Please do not challenge into this library.
Yeah, please just quest. I think that we're just going to quest. We are going to boost.
You're going to challenge with the Peter Pan, which makes sense, and go for 3.
Peter Pan was just played, so we were able to do that, get that.
Yeah,
and
go to 11. Sorry, I miscounted before.
Oh, good. So we lost a character, and we're still able to get to 11. So this is what I want to see. I really feel bad for Trevor. I super do, but if this ended in a draw, I would be upset. As now we will be able to exert, and if we don't do anything except for sail at you, then I think... What is that? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17? Oh, man.
Yeah, so we wouldn't have... Yeah, we would need to Demona into some goat. We would need to be able to draw some cards here. But this would be turn 3, then turn 4. So
we're drawing 3 cards.
Adam would need to win his next turn.
So we are recycling brooms to then play more brooms. Adam, your deck, man. Go ahead. Yep, I feel you on that. Now this is turn. This was 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Aww.
This would be turn 4, yeah. And I believe that's a popsicle.
Win. Yeah.
Could still possibly on the table. Needs exactly.
Goat bounce.
I don't know.
Goat.
It's that whatever.
11,
that card is not
12,
it. It's whatever it is.
15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, you need goat bounce. Goat. Do we have it? Do we have it?
No,
do we have
don't.
it?
We have 1 card in hand. Color.
Oh. What if we cheated? Thoughts? Thoughts on that?
Color. We're not allowed to do that. Stop.
Fair. That's fair. As we are going to go ahead and play the fox. Hold up. Is that a goat? It wouldn't matter. It'd only get us to 18, and that is tragic. Oh, he had the fox in hand, Fumbles. I'm so upset.
He drew the fox off the popsicle, actually.
Well, it was still in his hand at one point. But you Elsa going in here, taking this out, because why not? Let's take a bunch of game actions so we can move to Trevor's turn. Trevor, you can't win on your turn, but you can do some stuff. Wait, no, is that not it? Was that not it?
It's possible that they still had more time.
Is it?
It's I mean,
if you are just playing this out, I swear to you, I'll find you in an interview somewhere. All right, we're gonna go and we're gonna pop the broom. We're gonna bounce the thing back to our hand, and we're gonna draw the 2 cards from all of that stuff that we were able to do. Go ahead, play this down, play the goat, get to 12. We're just gonna bounce it for the vibes.
Yeah, we're gonna play that rabbit again because we love Merlins and Mims, because we love Infinity, and we're back.
We are so back as we go ahead and take out the Madam Min Fox. I'll trade your fox for my fox. We'll go ahead and unexert. And are you gonna? Is that it?
I believe that would be it. So we do end in a draw here, I believe.
I'd like to speak to the manager. An amethyst deck sitting at 17 while having the fox in their hand. I am going back to what I said before. If I ever see another Blurple Mirror, I'm gonna freak out. I'm not happy. Was that a tie? Was that a tie? It was a draw, Fumbles.
What?
Of course it was a draw.
It was such a bummer. And then that's literally the ones where you go to the DLC and you're like, I just needed one more turn. I just needed one more turn. He just needed a goat. Literally, he just needed a goat. Or one more turn.
Yeah.
You were wrong.
I mean, the goat and the bounce and the ability to replay the goat.
He had the bounce.
He did not have 11 ink open, though.
Yeah, well, he would have had to have the goat on board is what would have had to happen there.
Oh, because he didn't have it to win. Whatever. I'm stupid at that point. My opponent, you had everything.
How did you enjoy that Blurple Mirror?
No.
I want to be like, I can't hear J-Bomb, but I can hear him type.
Oh, don't worry. We can hear J-Bomb.
Oh, I'm here. I just wasn't talking.
Don't worry.
He's
we
typing,
knew you
though.
were.
He's typing. He's breathing. He's known. How'd you feel about that mirror, J-Bomb?
Yeah. I can't hear anything
Oh, okay.
through the video, though.
Yeah, so you should turn it on and off again, I guess.
How'd you feel about that mirror? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, we're good. Cut it. That's it. We're done. Awesome. Oh man, I think Luke, you might have to give him another.
Can you
link.
hear him
Is
now?
that here? No, I can't even see him.
Hey, can you hear us?
All right, let me get you a new
I
link.
can't see him, but I can just hear him, which is so weird. Is J-Bomb in the room with us right now?
Where's my Ouija board?
I know,
I
show
need
us a sign. Oh man. This is what happens. Welcome to the ICL Fumbles. Now you're on this side of it.
Oof, man. This was tough.
Oh, really? Was it?
Turns out, talking about the game while
You
it's
talk
happening.
about the game is like all the time.
Yeah, but I yell about the game. There's a difference.
I've been yelling for like an hour now.
I can't say they always have it, you know?
You can though. You can. Because it's not happening to you. That's the best part about
That's
casting.
true.
But then again, I did get really emotionally invested in that to where I feel like it did happen to me. Like I feel like justice.
I'm devastated.
Justice. Yeah. Justice for
yeah,
the
I'm
Blurble
devastated
players.
at the draw. But hey,
Oh.
that means we get to see if we
Oh.
could have a team win this year.
I mean, well, yeah. I mean, now we have Ink versus Lore, and they're like 0-0-1, which is like a wild way to start out the ICL. So we got the Blurple matches out of the way. You made me cast them, but you made me cast them with fumbles, and that is fine. I'm good. J-Bomb, are you here?
I am here. I'm good
The
to
Yeah.
spirits
go.
rise.
And I can hear you guys. It's the most important part.
Awesome. Yeah, I was like, J-Bomb, how did you like that Blurple mirror? And you went, yeah.
Yeah, it was really good timing.
It was hilarious. It was hilarious. And then you're like, I can't hear you. I'm like, all right, fine. But welcome. You've casted in the ICL before.
That I have, and I'm excited to be here to cast again, especially to one of my hometown teams, the Ink and Lore.
Yes,
Okay, so
the
J-Bone will have the
Chicago and
history.
Chicagonians. What do we call them?
Chicago Knights.
Chicagonians plus Sarek.
Plus Eric. Yeah, he.
Is that what all people from Chicago call themselves?
Yeah.
Yes,
Chicagoans
that
plus
Chicago
Eric.
branch in Puerto Rico, right?
The Chicagoans and Sarah.
And so,
And Sarah.
Yeah, and unlike a lot of the other Chicago teams, this team is actually like full Chicago, like actual city Chicago. Like I'm a suburb person that just tells people Chicago, but they're like,
Oh, you're the
so
one.
you're the fake one and they're
yeah,
real.
yeah.
All right,
these
noted.
are city folk.
Wait, they live in the city limits?
Yeah, yeah.
Are
most
they
of them.
okay?
Yeah, they're good.
Wait, what do you mean?
Are they okay? Are you guys all right?
You've
Yeah.
watched too much Chicago drama.
I've been to Chicago. I was about to say,
Okay.
is it better?
It-
It's
you guys
wonderful. It's a great tourist place. You like boat tours and hot dogs. It's
wait,
got
I
all-
just
we got
love
it
that
all.
color
Chicago.
is like.
That's not Chicago. That's by the river specifically. What? I don't know. The food's
People
great.
choose to live there. Okay. All right, color. Point
Okay,
to Chicago
all
on a
right,
map
here's
for
my-
me. Let's
I
do.
can actually do that. I can actually. No. Wait. No, hold on. It makes
Jump.
sense in context. Most of my friends
Hyperspace.
from Chicago are first responders, so
All right.
that does color my judgment a little bit.
That color her judgment. All right. Good luck in the
Oh.
next round.
I am doing wonderful. Just got the daughter to bed and excited to be here Wednesday night on the ICL. And we've got Inkenlore Zaven. And now you might know Zaven from him posting on Twitter. He does a lot of these economic values of the sets. And so he can tell you like the value that you're going to get from opening packs and which sets are better. And so, yeah. Oh, yeah. And we're against J Stamps on the Salty Ducks. There's a lot of people that just have J as the first vowel and then their name afterward. Big fan
Muted.
of that.
To
See a lot of them in the ICL. We got J Shaft, J Stamps, J Bomb. I believe there was one yesterday too on stream.
Lots of J's.
Yeah, it's a good letter.
It's an okay one.
Yeah,
I don't like the letter actually. I'm very against it because when I was too young, I would get my J's and G's mixed up. So I would have to like pause and think about how to spell my own last name because I'd be like, is it J? Is it G? I don't remember. I'm like 5. This is too much pressure for me.
Yeah, and then we've got Zaven starting off with the Cinderella 1-drop, which is historically one of the best cards and reasons to play Amber. And so I'm going to take a prediction here that he's going to be going with Amber Steel, and we are seeing Steel on the other side and Beast, which typically reveals to me that it's likely going to be Emerald Steel.
Or some really spicy amber steel again.
Yeah.
It used to be a 4 of, but then they just made more singers
Better
and broken
cards.
songs. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and that looks like we got an Ursula coming down. So yeah, this is definitely going to be Steel Song coming in. And then Ursula, as we know, is one of the better singers, especially on 2. So she can start hurling those thunderbolts quickly at J Stamps to kind of take out his characters.
Yeah, Vanessa here is a fantastic card. Our first 2-cost singer 4 that saw play. Mostly because she's a 1/4 and can get amazing Rapunzel value, as we see J Stamps also throwing down a Rapunzel. Or
Yeah.
an Ursula.
Rapunzel to the Inkwell. And yeah, my prediction is wrong. This is, in fact, an Amber Steel mirror match. And so this is going to be heavily dependent on who can sling the first song. And so Ariel's going to come out and allow Zaven to have 3 ready singers available to him. And now he is going to be able to be the one to sing first and has a plethora of shots to throw.
If he
Assuming
has
he has a song. Yeah.
We didn't grab removal. If he
No.
does not have a Zeus, the game could go back, but maybe we just got double storm would be pretty good
Oh.
too.
Yeah, you're
And
gonna really need that double storm, because if not, the Rapunzel trap there is going to be a pretty spicy situation. But he is going to take a half measure here and be able to solve it with strength. And so he doesn't get great value out of the storm, but it basically
Oh.
cycles itself, and then the strength finishes it off. So no
Gets
harm, no
plenty
foul
of
in that play.
value. When we've
Yeah.
got the whole new world we just revealed, we don't want J Stamps to have anything. We want to answer every character he plays, refresh us each with 7 cards each. And J Stamps just has to be like, please, please do not have that third piece of removal before you whole new world.
Yeah. And we are going to see the aerial come down, matching Zaven's aerial and taking the storm. But unfortunately for J Stamps, he doesn't have a singer to pop it off and take out Zaven's Cinderella, which would be a very strong play. And so Zaven is going to be firmly in the driver's seat. And if he has another song to take out this aerial into a whole new world, he is going to be feeling very good in this game. Okay.
Oof.
And so he is just going to say, I've got no hand. I'm going to play the whole new world. And then if he draws into a song here and is able to take out that aerial, he's going to pass his turn with 5 characters to J Stamp's none while he's at 4 ink. And this game's going to be very, very, very difficult for J Stamps to call back from.
I mean, this game's already difficult for J Stamps,
Yeah.
even if we somehow miss. But we could be that world that Zaven, like, J Stamps answers the aerial, and then Zaven has to just ink and hardcast a whole new world to try to hit the removal. But we hit it. We got it.
Yep, and we do get another strength to take out that aerial, which strength can take out anything in J Stamp's decks pretty much at this point.
Except for a Sonic Warrior, possibly. Ooh, do we have some disruption to boot, or nope, just questing up? And we're probably going to pass there with 6 cards in hand. And if there's another whole new world in there, then the game's 1,000% over. But even if not, it's pretty good here.
Yeah, this is giving me flashbacks to set 3, which was my personal favorite format of countering these Amber Steel decks that once they get the first whole new world off, they just start chaining them, and you can just really never get your footing back. And they are always just kind of pushing and pushing and pushing. And then you eventually have to slow them down. And if they're already up in the teens and lore, you really can't come back. But luckily, Zaven's only at 2 lore, and an Aurora is going to come down into a Pete. So that is going to temporarily halt the song onslaught from Zaven, but only for a moment.
This is what he needed instead of the aerial last turn to be able to stop Zaven from whole new worlding, maybe get and have a singer to play his own removal to take down the opposing aerial. Unfortunately, we just didn't have that. We had to wait to our new 7 to be able to get it. And this is the type of card needed to try to get parity back, as Zaven says, not today, friend. I also have a friend who's a judge. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and for those who are unfamiliar with the Infinity format or how this Amber Steel matchup worked in the past, it's whoever throws the last Pete down ends up being the first to sing and being able to take back these large board situations. And so the last person to play Pete is often going to be very favored. But in this exception, Zaven already had an established board, and so he doesn't need the last Pete as much, but he did in fact currently have the last Pete. So if J Stamps doesn't have another one, he's kind of out of luck.
I think I quest with the Cinderella as well, and I'm assuming we have another Rapunzel in hand, because if we just quest with Cinderella and J Stamps challenges with a Pete, that's a Rapunzel trap. That's 3 cards right there. And Zaven doesn't want to necessarily a whole new world if he doesn't have to. Like, having it in the back pocket when we need it is nice. Or you whole new world and you keep just like major tempoing. But if we could have afforded to play Rapunzel there, add 2 more lore and more pressure, as J Stamps parries the Pete right back over to Zaven. Does Zaven have another Pete?
And this is exactly what you want to see in the Amber Steel duels, is just Pete on Pete on Pete. And will he raise Zaven to match him and call with a second Pete?
I do think it might be worth trading a Pete on a Smee.
Mhm.
Zaven is up to 6 already. He could get up to 10 with the same quests. And if we do a challenge that leaves Pete around, like say we take out one Vanessa, that walks right in to that Rapunzel trap. And this is
Yeah.
why I would have quested with Cindy, because if we take out a Vanessa, we can't we can't take anything else out with the Aurora. Granted, this situation lets Zaven answer both of them with just challenges.
Yeah, and Rapunzel was in set one the skill check card where you could tell like who really knew what they were doing based on avoiding the Rapunzel traps and then or like playing into them, and it really allowed Amber Steel to just kind of get a lot of free wins on newer players who were still learning that. And then it's one of those times where it's like, a lot of cards you say I'm never going to make that mistake again. It's very hard to never make that mistake again.
Yeah.
It's Rapunzel because sometimes you have to trade and put those awkward situations, and then if they have it, they have it. But great card design, really, and that's why it was one of the most expensive cards for a long time. And we do see a Sonic Warrior coming down, which is going to start to obliterate J Stamp's board even more, assuming he has another song.
Yeah, I kind of think I might have shifted that. You don't need the song to do that, but I guess we can't sing this turn, so there's no reason to. We just play that.
Yeah.
We can easily clear a few things here if we want to. We've signal, like, it's pretty clear we don't have another Rapunzel.
Yep.
But I like sending this Cindy into the Aurora and then questing for at least 3, if not 4. I think with 2 whole new world singers now we're fine.
Yeah.
J Stamps does not have enough characters in play for a strength to even come near that aerial. So I think I just send the 2/3 aerial as well.
Yeah, I'm definitely sending the 2/3 aerial, especially with Sonic Warrior, who can clean up the Pete. Worst case, you probably want to use it on a newer character, but in the worst case, you can always take out that Pete. And so I think I would agree with you, Wonderland, and quest that aerial 10 out of 10.
We could have also shifted and quested for 2. The problem with that play is that does allow Pete to hit it and then just play a Zeus from hand. But imagine we do that, we're at 12, that takes all of J Stamp's resources, takes out his character, and then we get to turn around and quest for 5 up to 17, and then play Rapunzel to draw 2 cards. The third Pete off of J Stamps is saying no. Yeah. I'm going to force you to do it the old-fashioned way.
And notably, this is the first turn that J Stamps is able to sing a song this entire game, because Zaven has either taken out every character or played a Pete on every turn so far. And so that's why we're seeing J Stamps have to ink that strength there, because he just didn't have any bodies to really get a ton of value. Obviously, he played the second one, and he's starting to clean up this board. But at this point, it's going to be a little too late, especially with that Sonic Warrior developed. That is notoriously a very, very large body, which is hard for Amber Steel to deal with.
Quite difficult. I still just hope Zaven still just has the Rapunzel saved up, and it's like, yep, I didn't want to play it last turn. You gave me the Rapunzel trap, but I knew you'd do it again. So now I'm going to challenge this Pete. I'm going to Rapunzel, draw 2 cards off of it, which takes it out, and then quest with my other characters and just have all the lore.
See, that sounds like a lot of work. I'm just singing a song, Sonic Warrior, the other one, and questing out. Assuming I have a song. We're at 10 lore here to 0, so we just got to end this game as quickly as possible at this point. But all right, so Zaven is looking like he's got some decision making, and he is going to play that Angel, which of course is one of my favorite new design choices that Ravensburger is making with this game, by allowing you to play these cards that help on the draw. And that card is very strong on the draw, which can basically give you the first shot at singing, which is extremely important in Infinity, and especially in this matchup.
Oh yeah, this is quite an important matchup, I feel. Like, a lot of people just say whoever's on the play, you have it. But we did see like a few things here. You know, J Stamps could have played a bare necessity instead of playing the aerial on 3 to maybe hit the whole new world and hope that like if Zaven didn't have another song there and just had 2 more characters, it doesn't matter if you have a million singers. Maybe
Hmm.
that gives J Stamps a turn or two to commit things to the board, and
Yeah.
then he's able to a whole new world and then play 2 or 3 songs. And then it's kind of like after every whole new world, it's like, can you answer what they have and then make it so you can keep going? The scary thing about trying to chain whole new worlds, as we've seen here with J Stamps, is the Peats.
Yeah.
But this aerial might just be too much and is quite good in this matchup, singing that Akud away.
Yeah, and we do see the Akud, which is a very nice addition to this deck, which is allow you to do what Amber Steel loves to do, and that's just spew cards out of their hand and use these songs to generate momentum swings that are just extremely powerful. And so historically, most of their momentum swings have been dealing with the opponent's board, but the Akud allows you to develop your own board as well by cheating out these characters faster, which has been one of the only weaknesses that Amber Steel has been missing from its arsenal.
I mean, it kind of already could, but
Mhm.
yeah, we kind of moved off of the lanterns from set
Yeah.
1. We've moved.
You always try it though.
I always try it, and we've kind of been seeing Willow here recently as well, but we haven't really
Yeah.
seen too many people playing Grandmother Willow on top of Akud. But this is
Mhm.
really where Akud shines. It's seen a little bit of play in core, but it's this older format that has a plethora of Singer 3s
Yep.
on turn 1, and J Stamps has seen enough. He's like, let me be on the play.
Yeah, and obviously being on the play in this matchup is going to give you the first chance at setting up the first singer, which, as we stated, is the most important thing. So it's set up the first singer, launch that first song. Your defense is countering with a Pete or bare necessities to strip the songs, and so you're doing this delicate dance to try and be the first to like break the enemy line on that order of operations.
Yeah, when you're on the draw, you don't really want the Cindy. I mean, it's
Mhm.
not terrible. It's an interesting thing because if you have the Cindy and they have Storm, you're in kind of a rough spot
Yeah.
because you're down a card basically. But if they have to use a Strength, that's not too bad. But if they're able to then, play a 2-cost Singer 4 and then also play a Zeus and then play Ariel, you're out of the game. So
Yeah.
lots of times you're not really focused on the Cindy as much as having the Singer 4 on 2 and just praying that they do not have the Zeus. And if they
Yeah.
don't have the Zeus, then you can maybe interact. If they have the Zeus, you're losing your turn 2 Singer. You didn't play something on turn 1, and then it's all on, do you have the Pete, and or do you have one more Pete than they have Petes?
Yeah. Exactly. And so that's why this is one of my favorite matchups, because it's just such a delicate dance of playing just ever so cautiously. Like a lot of people just, no matter if they have the Cindy, they slam it down. But there are situations, like you said, where it's just
You're
better
inking
to
it.
not play it. Like I remember old matchups where we just don't play our 1-drop, and then they're stuck with a bunch of storms in their hand. Then you're like ramping and or playing Ruby Sapphire, for example, just never playing a character, and then they just can't do anything because they've got all removal songs, and they're just sort of sitting there, and all their momentum's in playing those songs, which you're just not giving them an opportunity to, and then they're not putting any pressure out as well. And so
Yep. And if you
there's
have a Troubadour, sure, they can cycle the Storm, draw a card, but then you get to
Mhm.
put damage on their character. You get a Sing removal on their 2-drop. If you have it and they don't, then you get
Yeah.
to play another character, and then they still can't like profitably answer because they don't have the characters to Strength. So there is quite a few different ways to go about it.
Oh yeah, and so we're thinking here on our hand and how many we're gonna alter. Don't have a full sight here of J Stamps, so it looks like he's going to do, I believe, 4. Yep,
I don't
and
know if you'd
then
believe me if I told you this, but we're not zoomed in on J Stamps at all. This is his maximum webcam that we can see.
okay, yeah. So it
You
looks
would
like
think I
4.
did some cropping, but no.
Yeah, it looks like 4 cards altered from each player. So about average hands, I'd say. You probably have some sort of the low curve you're keeping, maybe a strength or a storm with that. But nothing too crazy. So probably just about average hands from both players.
I do think the Akud, though, does actually push the play draw more than before.
Yeah.
Because while as we were saying, it's like, yeah, there's some play to being on the draw. You're not necessarily losing. It is hard to deal with a turn two aerial, like either aerial, honestly.
Yeah.
If you're only had one ink and you didn't play a Cindy. So maybe there's this weird world that you have to play the Cindy on one just to prevent them from accuding out a 4-drop or
Yeah.
a 3-drop Cindy. And like when you look at it, it's like there's so many layers to this that it's like, and with new cards coming out, it can completely change lines to make a line that used to be, oh, you always do this, to like, well,
Yeah.
maybe there's actually times that you don't do this.
Yeah, sometimes good, sometimes not good. And that is a very, very good point because I've been talking about it how I used to know it, and so I hadn't considered how the Akud plays into that. And by even sacrificing your Cindy to the Storm, that allows them to have a less powerful play by delaying the Akud, which is extremely important, which we've seen in core with Diego Saz's Amber Steel, with how powerful he can Akud things, get an Angel out early, a Stitch, and just kind of snowball from there. And we are going to see J Stamps ink a Cinderella and play an Aurora, which tells me he is not expecting to play the song next turn, and he wants to get some princesses out.
Yeah, this makes me think like maybe this is an extra layer where he's like, oh, Zaven's not going to keep a Cindy or an Angel on the draw, and he gets rewarded. This was the turn to play the Cindy or the Angel.
Yeah.
You have 8 of them in your deck. It's the perfect time to play it. And Jay Stamps is just like, no, fam, I'm just gonna play
Aurora.
turn 2 Ariel, and you have got nothing.
And we ink another Aurora, so he's getting some very nice cards for the Inkwell because those are pretty much the weakest cards after these early turns. And so getting those to the Inkwell is going to be nice because it means we're not going to draw them later. And now we have a 2-turn Ariel, and J Stamps is firmly in the driver's seat for the rest of this game. And he takes a Bare Necessities, which is going to be extremely impactful on these power turns, especially in the next turn or two.
Yeah, and we already saw Zaven ink 1 song removal. So either he is having ink issues or he has a plethora of inkable songs. Now we have the Cindy.
And he almost assuredly drew that for this turn. Otherwise, we would have seen that for sure into the face of the Aurora.
Well, maybe not. So if we did play Cindy, we actually can't answer the Ariel. And we can answer the, like, all we know is our Cindy survives. So maybe it's still right not to play it. And Zaven is just smarter than us, which is quite possible. Because it's the Zeus we need to answer the Ariel. That said, maybe it was still good just to develop the Cindy so we can have Cindy and Ursula in case J Stamp sings a whole new world.
Yeah. And I still like the opportunity to draw into a Storm and just snipe out that Aurora for free, basically. Okay.
And along came Zeus.
Yeah, which is just better than he hurled his Thunderbolt.
Yeah,
Same
unless you
card,
got a
slightly
pudge,
better.
maybe.
Yeah.
I've been got by it once. I got in Amethyst Steel. There was a Hades in play, so like they did get to use the bonus.
Oh yeah, that it comes up on occasion, and that's why it's there. All right, so we're seeing a Rapunzel come down for no value, but just to get something on board and use our ink. And so J
She has
Stamps
Singer
has
4.
opportunity. Yeah, has opportunity to do that because he's just firmly in the driver's seat. It's basically we're seeing the exact mirror of what happened last game. And so Zaven is going to look to try and drop a song. But even if he does have that song, J Stamp still has that Bare Necessities to potentially snipe it. So he's likely going to need 2 if he's going to be relying on that.
And that I don't know if you mentioned that, but already another strengthened in the Inkwell.
Yeah.
So this is really rough for Zaven here.
Mm-hmm. That's not at all what he wants to be inking 2 out of the 3 of the first turns.
Like even if our Cindy exerted herself to take out the Aurora on our turn 2 singing removal, like I think I'm in game plan we wanted to play a Cindy if we could have.
Mm-hmm.
I'm flip floppy on it.
Yeah, but that's what all the reps are for. We can finally firmly decide. But a lot of Lorcana is some plays are better in one game and some plays are better in the other. It all just sort of depends on what your opponent is signaling to you and what your opponent has. And so we are going to end up inking
Is
that
this
bare
Beyond the Horizon?
necessities.
It's Beyond the Horizon. Discard a whole new world and a storm. Oh, how
Okay.
about restart with only 3 cards, friend?
Oh my gosh. And Zaven is losing just all the removal in his deck.
Zeus,
down
Zeus, world.
He's down 3 strengths, 2 Zeuses, let the Storm Rage on. So that is why he was inking, because he had no choice, really.
Yeah. Something about a rock and a hard place. Let's put that on the tier list maker. This is pretty rough.
Yep. But in the good news for Zaven, he is going to have his first singer available. In the bad news, he has seen a lot of songs already. And Beyond the Horizon only drew him 3 more cards. And a lot of the songs aren't even that impactful when you have to deal with this many characters. I'd probably want to deal with the Rapunzel first, just to take some 2 lore off the board. But this is going to be one of those games that it's basically over, and we just got to kind of go through the motions for another 5 turns to get the required lore to get to 20.
So do you think it's going to be a mirror in the next round as well?
At this rate, these 2 teams seem like they had the same strategy going into it, and likely so. The question is, what colors will we see? Perhaps an emerald steel mirror, maybe green purple.
Who knows?
Diablo
Who
has yet to make an
knows?
appearance.
Yeah, we haven't seen Emerald Steel. We haven't seen Sapphire Steel. We haven't seen Yellow Emerald. Maybe even Ruby Sapphire. There is a world that we could see another mirror. Would be funny.
Oh yeah.
Angel discard Aurora to take out an Aurora. Inking an Aurora. This turn was just all about Aurora.
Oh yeah.
Did you hear about the job that Aurora got?
What's the job?
Auroral Juror.
That's the 3rd time you used that on me this week.
Aurora, the rural juror.
Yeah, say that 10 times fast. Aurora, the rural juror. Yeah, it's like, I think I'm saying it right, but it doesn't even.
You
sound
are
right.
saying it right. Team FA should hire us. Along came
Double
Zeus. I'm gonna draw 3 cards, and they're all gonna be removal. I'm just gonna quest away.
And I do love Angel in this match. Unfortunately for Zaven, it was a little too late to get a ton of value from it. Like, he was able to answer one character, but just not enough to come back. And J Stamps forever will have a singer on the board, and so if he ever draws a song, he can just snipe whatever Zaven's doing. And Zaven's gonna. I don't know how Zaven keeps drawing all these songs. That's what
You're
the second
playing
and third
22
storm?
of them
Yeah.
around there. The song is a third. Like, the Amethyst Steel repeat deck is like a nightmare.
Yeah. But Zaven should be ready to enact the scoop those cards up, son. It's time to go to game 3 portion of this match.
He's got enough time. He could literally take 5 minutes on each of his turns and still might have, well, maybe not 5, but maybe 33 minutes. You know, Ink and Lore and Salty Ducks, they don't want us watching any other matches.
That is true. And so now we are going to Akud to bring out the Cinderella, one of the strongest plays in this game if you were trying to do weak plays.
I wanted to see another Rapunzel come down. The wrong player had the Rapunzel.
Yeah.
Oh, we're
But
inking the Rapunzel to play a Sonic Warrior.
Yeah, and Sonic Warrior is one of the cards that could theoretically get Zaven back in the game, but not when J Stamps is at 11 lore. If you had a little less lore and you just
mean
get some
17.
runner songs, yeah.
And this is one of the cards that is kind of new that I have been a fan of.
Yeah. I know Sky is a very big fan of this card as well, and the debate versus the Canadians on is this card better than Goliath and Amber Steel in the current state. And so right now it's Sky versus Canada. And so chat, let me know what you think. Are you guys Goliath or Ariel fans in the core constructed Amber Steel lists. All right, and so Zaven is going to start to clean up this board. Unfortunately, J Stamps is at 17, and so this game is over. And we are going to go to a game 3 where Zaven will have the play, and if it goes anything like game 1 and 2, it's going to be that first person to establish the singer is going to shoot off a song and just never let go of that driver's seat. Okay. And so for those who are just turning in, we are in week 6, Division B of Infinity Week. And so we've been sprinkling in a few Infinity weeks here and there. And then we're going to do a couple more core after this week. And then it's going to be Infinity for the rest of the tournament. And so that's going to be leading up to DLC Indianapolis and Dortmund, which are both Infinity tournaments.
Of course, I'm muted. I can't wait to see the new meta after Vines comes out.
Yeah, there's going to be there's so many viable decks in Infinity, and so it's really, really fun to see how creative everyone's getting, because not a lot of players have put a ton of time into it. And so this is kind of one of the first looks we're seeing of just what people are cooking in the kitchen. And I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. This format is a lot of fun, and I think the reason why it's looks so much more fun than core is because songs are fun. Playing free stuff is fun, and so we've been used to this long, arduous process of just slowly trading characters in these standoffs and getting slow value and momentum games from Cheshire Cat and Elsa, and having this removal is just slinging haymakers over and over and over.
Tippy tappy, tippy tappy, tippy tap.
Tippy tappy. That reminds me, we had someone at work. They won the loudest keyboard warrior with the caption, "We get it, you're working hard."
When they obviously don't get it because all bro has is a mechanical keyboard. He just brought his keyboard home into work from home. Everyone else is
ergonomic, okay?
Yeah. How do you know I'm working if you can't hear it? I would get in trouble. They would instantly know.
Yeah.
Like that I'm not working, because you wouldn't be able to hear the like. Oh.
I just read contracts all day, so no one can ever tell if I'm working or not.
I almost just broke
That's
my
just
computer.
Pure
doing
silence
that.
at my
That
desk.
was-
All right,
was
and so
maybe dangerous to do.
Zaven, it looks like he's altering 5, and J Stamps
2.
I didn't 2. Okay, so
He
J
just put
Stamps
2 down.
strong hand. Zaven not strong hand, so that gives some hope for J Stamps seeing that 6 altar where maybe Zaven doesn't have the 1-drop, and then J Stamps can be taking over that on the play situation by playing the first character. So we'll
The
see
people,
if-
the fans, the viewers are really hyped on Zaven winning this game. We've got a 60K to 20K bet. I think people are just assuming that being on the play is all that matters in this matchup, and Zaven's going to try to prove him right. Well, J Stamps is saying, "No, fam, just you wait. I kept 5 cards. I'm ready."
And the longer this game goes, the more even playing field it is, where the on-the-draw player can eventually take it back. We haven't actually seen the on-the-draw player get any momentum in either game. It's just been sort of a one-sided onslaught because the player on the play had a singer and what seemed like an infinite amount of songs to sing. And so lucky for Zaven, he did not miss the 1-drop. And even better, he got to put one of those 1-drops into his Inkwell, which means he doesn't get to draw it later on. And so I notoriously played a lot of Ruby Sapphire, and my favorite thing to do was Ink Tipo the first 3 turns. And so we are going to see J Stamps ink a Cinderella instead of playing it. So he kind of agrees with your Camp Wonderland, where he doesn't want to play the Cinderella and let Zaven get that free storm value.
The problem is this a Cood. We were saying it's like maybe we need to play the Cindy. I'm in the air. I have not played the mirror enough to actually know. I just know that before the play was don't play the Cindy. Now, maybe. Having
Yeah.
a Cindy here to sing a storm and then have it eaten by the Smee could be good. Maybe just having a Cindy to chill, play a 4-cost singer, and then maybe beyond as we ink another Cindy.
Oh, and we don't even use the ink, so the Akud plays the Smee for free, and then we don't play any
Oof.
character. And J Stamps is gonna love what he sees. That's about as good as he could have seen from that. Akud.
I would agree. That just it really
You do
rewards him for the Cindy play.
Yeah.
Instead of there being like a 4-cost aerial or any aerial there.
And so he matches with this Mr. Smee, and all of a sudden, this game is getting closer to even keeled because Zaven doesn't have a really strong singer to take out that Smee. Obviously, if he has strength, he can play another character and take that out, and that'd be pretty good, especially with an aerial on top of that. But maybe Zaven has got a clunky hand again if he's not playing anything on turn 2.
I'm not a fan of either of these players' turn 2 characters.
I'm glad you kept going with that sentence.
I don't like either of these players.
Yeah, that was a long pause.
Turn 2 plays.
Yeah.
A Smee, I just haven't been very happy with it. In the limited amount of games I've played, like, he really shines when you're up against that control deck and you need to gain that lore.
Yeah.
Put a couple damage on him, Rapunzel, draw back. Rarely am I getting to draw any more than a single card off of this Smee for Rapunzel for value. I like, in my most recent list, I cut him for Vanessa. You can see them already playing Vanessa. I went from running just 4 troubadours to running a full set of 8.
Oh, wow.
And I just think that it's probably better. Worse if we're getting Pete locked, possibly. So we see another coup. Do we have a real payoff this time?
Oh, I don't think he did before that because he took a very long time to think about, is it worth going for the Akud or not here? And so...
Oh, we'll hit that angel, it looks like. Or maybe, if we're super lucky, we hit the aerial. Because J-Stamps doesn't have a singer. He cannot answer any characters. So we could still play angel. I mean, we could still play aerial, boost her, quest, and pass. And be like, sure, you could eat my Cindy if you want. Or, you know, I might get to play a Rapunzel next turn and draw a card off of my Smee. And quest again.
Yeah, and we have not seen the boost aerial from Zaven's side, if I remember correctly. That has only been on J-Stamps. So, yeah, I'd assume he's probably playing it, but we shall see. And so strength to the Inkwell. Again, not something Zaven really wants to be doing, which he's definitely got a clunky hand. And
if we do nothing, if we pass right here, J-Stamps probably has this game. Like, this, like, what is in Zaven's hand? Like,
His
Zeus,
hand would
Whole
have
New
to
World? Like,
Yeah,
more
just-
songs.
he passed.
Oh!
Oh my gosh. He had 2 Akuds and not a single character to play. Oh gosh, this is something that you just never want to see. This is about as not as bad as it could have gone worse if he didn't have the Smee, but I mean, J-Stamps can just trade Smee into the Cinderella, play another character, and now he's firmly in control of this game because Zaven probably just has
Well, there's outs. Maybe. I guess if he had the Naveen, he probably plays it. But maybe he doesn't have the Whole New World in his hand as like Naveen aerial.
I think you have to play a
5.
Naveen and just Thunderbolt if you have it. You can't just do nothing.
Well, I'm saying, what if he just has like 2 Naveens and a Sonic Warrior? Or a Rapunzel? I might have played the Rapunzel on turn 2 with no draw.
All right.
If you have that Zeus, you're not playing it. And I'm going to take out your singer. And as you're saying, this is a great position for J-Stamps. Oh, we're just questing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we're just questing. That is very interesting. Okay, so he might have a Rapunzel as well and figures Zaven is not going to trade.
If you have the Rapunzel, I definitely challenge. Because then there's definitely 2 damage on this me. Oh, there's that Punzi.
Yeah.
I trade.
Yeah,
I trade in a
your
heartbeat.
Smee. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I'm with you. trading here, this is a game about just eliminating as many characters as you can. It's not unlike dogs, where the wider they get, the harder it is to claw back. If you can limit them to 1 or 2 characters, it's going to be a lot easier. But he says, I just want that lore, and I think he may regret that, because I think J Stamps was setting up a similar play with the Rapunzel, and so I'm with you. I want to take that card out, and J Stamps here. This is going to be one of the first turns that he is going to be able to sing with a 3 cost. This is actually the first turn he's going to be singing with a 3 cost, as Zaven has had that Cinderella singing a coup to do nothing for 2 turns, but J Stamps finally has that singer.
I want to see like a coup into Ariel.
Mm-hmm.
Like Sonic Warrior for J Stamps, just like locks the game.
Yeah. Would have been cool if Zaven was able to do that, but unfortunately, I'd really want to like ask Zaven what his hand was after this game.
And here's
all right.
one reason to trade Smees.
Yeah.
Because we haven't, as you said, this is the first song J Stamp's been able to sing. So there's a big world that he has that or a strength. And I think he's just like easy to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And he's going to sing Bare Necessities, and we see.
Ooh.
Okay, so it was the double Zeus, and so this is always one of the hardest decisions, where it's like I'd like you to not have that Zeus with the Rapunzel singer out, but at this point we got to pivot because the whole new world is also bad. So like getting rid of this is an interesting game.
Kind of rough for J Stamps all of a sudden, because
Yeah.
this Rapunzel gets to throw itself into the Smee, take it out, and then heal. So J Stamps has to play a Rapunzel here. And even then, Zaven can still trade the Cindy with it.
Yeah.
If he wants. Doesn't have it? Okay, well that's has to do that. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
And now Zaven is going to be really regretting that no trade from Smee. But he's probably going to take this trade 9 times out of 10 with the Cinderella into the Smee. So it's not the worst position.
We're just going to draw Storm. We're just going to top deck Storm, sing it, take out the Smee. The game is really anybody's game right now. We're so low. The whole new world off of it is like pretty big here. But we could also just Zeus the Pete and trade and put us on 2 cards in hand, 2 or 3 cards in hand to 2 or 3 cards in hand, no characters in play.
Yeah, I like that better than just like a Rapunzel here. Although the Rapunzel allows us to sing Zeus, and we have 2 of them in hand, and that could be rather important. So,
just a Rapunzel overtaking out Pete is probably fine. We have to trade, though, unfortunately. Yeah. That's not bad.
And that is much better, because that stops J Stamps from questing with this Pete as well, as he will avoid the Rapunzel trap. Yeah,
it is interesting. You just have to assume that J Stamps isn't going to have more removal.
Mm-hmm. And he is going to play the Akud. And so let's see. He's got a slightly larger hand than Zaven. So I think that's 4 cards in there, 3 or 4. So maybe not too much bigger. But hopefully he actually has a character to play. And just the Troubadour. These Akuds are not going great this game.
We have to Zeus this. We have to Zeus. I don't agree with playing the Troubadour first. I would have just paid 1 and played the Ariel. So if we had hit a Zeus, we could have inked the Troubadour and taken it out. Because now we're setting Zaven up to draw cards. It's possible we just have a whole new world in hand, and we're hoping Zaven just challenges Pete and then Rapunzel's, and we don't care. That was a beast. That was a beast.
So he had the beast when he Akuded. Then he preferred to play the Troubadour and Ariel. That is interesting. Well, obviously he knows that Zaven has two Zeuses, so that's much less interesting the more I think about it.
But now we see Zaven getting rid of that singer, being like, you know what? I bet you have a whole new world. If I draw cards off this Rapunzel, you whole new world and sing some removal. So it's this interesting thing that it's like, well, the obvious play is this, but it's like, well, if you do the obvious play, you get punished in a turn and a half. Mm-hmm. So they're both like taking precautions, basing their plays off of what their opponent's doing and signifying. This is a crazy game, 4-2. just a couple cards each. One of these players is getting ready to make a play that puts them far ahead. And I think J Stamps is a little upset that he inked that beast after seeing both Zeuses go away. Because
Yeah.
just beast this turn go is not bad.
No, that's very good. That's probably like one of the strongest plays he could do this turn if he's not going to answer the Ursula on the board. And so he is going to tap what looks like all of his ink. And
Exert
he may
5
have
for the beast!
Yeah, so that's probably why he inked it. He had a couple of them, a duo of beasts, and so
Don't you dare do it, J Stamps. I see you thinking about it. Don't you dare quest with that beat.
yeah. And smartly so, he chooses to not quest and give Zaven 3 free cards.
So what Zaven needs here is he needs to sing Storm on his own character to draw 2, 3 cards, or he needs to just storm this beast and hope to draw something else. Basically knowing that his Rapunzel's turned off. But he's in kind of a rough spot.
Yeah, and I don't think Zaven has the beasts in his deck, and so far I haven't seen the aerial, so it seems like his is a little lower.
He
to
had
the
Sonic
ground.
Warrior in his
Yeah,
list.
he had Sonic Warrior in the list, which is probably in the B slot if I had to guess. But yeah, this is going to be one of the biggest turns of the game where Zaven is going to have to put some gas out, or he's going to be in trouble. And it looks like he's just going to play that Rapunzel flat out and pass his turn here. No, it's going to be Angel, which
That
can turn
answer's
off-
discarding.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
so
unfortunately-
rough for him.
yeah, but it does turn off the beast. It's not a card like
Worth.
that's one of the cards where if he gets out, it's probably going to win the game on the spot. But he's pretty far away from getting that card out, especially without anything to shift on.
Yeah, Zaven, as I'm being told it's pronounced, is in a great spot here, actually, because not only does Angel answer the beast, but it stacks 2 damage on your Ursula to then draw 2 cards off of the Rapunzel that you have in your hand without having to exert any of your characters. So
Yeah.
then you could sing removal, like you could top deck into a Zeus, play it, and or sing 2 cards and then give your Angel resist and wipe everything that J Stamps has.
Yeah, and that if that Angel does have resist, it's going to be a nightmare for J Stamps to take out in a future turn. He's actually going to be inking a strength here and just says, "I'm going to sing this beyond
I'll let
the
you keep.
horizon."
I won't target you. You could keep your 1.
Yeah.
Although it is a Rapunzel.
It is a Rapunzel, but forcing him to commit his entire turn to drawing that many cards is better
Yeah,
than just
definitely the way.
giving him the cards right out and giving him some choices. So you kind of drive and choreograph the next turn for him. And Nick says I've been pronouncing Zaven's name wrong for the whole time. I swear that's what he introduced me to. I played him in set 2 sealed event in the finals, or win an enchanted event. Very fun. Good guy, Zaven. Feel real bad. I've been calling his name wrong for like 2 years now, but we have it right now, so that's perfect. And he does have the Rapunzel on the beast after the Beyond the Horizon, and so
Pretty good.
turns don't get much better than that when you're an Amber Steel player. You got to heal your beast up, which activates his draw ability. You got to draw cards yourself from the Beyond the Horizon, refresh your hand, although you did lose 2 strengths, 1 to the Inkwell, 1 to the discard. And then on top of that, you drew 2 cards from your Rapunzel, set up another Singer. But
I would also like to draw 3 cards, please.
yeah, so we went from both characters having a small grip of cards and a small board to heavy metal out the gates here, through the floodgates, cards to sling in, and
We need another Zeus here. We need a Zeus for this opposing Rapunzel, possibly, or just a Zeus to finish off this beast, since the beast can take out any of our characters. Oh, here's a song. Akud.
another
Oh,
Akud.
man.
these Akuds have been near useless this game. Three Akuds.
That's not bad!
But no. And finally, the 3rd Akud of the day for Zaven gets to do something and allows that Pete to come out and slow J Stamp's onslaught down a bit, because you have to imagine he's got at least definitely 1 song, perhaps 2 in his hand with 4 cards, and so
But
Pete's
we're in that spot where they're both kind of forced to Rapunzel trap each other back and forth, as now the beast can take out this angel, put 4 damage on it, and then Rapunzel to draw some cards. Or we just throw the Rapunzel into the angel and then do that to draw off there. But I think we just send the beast. Maybe it's hard to say.
Most certainly we're taking out the angel because Zavin's cards are running low, and once that gets resist on, it's going to be a lot harder, especially if this beast goes down. Right now, that beast has all the strength in the world to take out whatever Zavin can throw. So we're definitely going to take advantage of that and take out this angel. But
nope.
Not with the beast here. We still have to take out the angel.
Wait. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
I was like, all right,
that does not match the die.
Lining up there, yeah. All right. Now we've got the Pete and Rapunzel going into the Ursula. A nice clean trade there for J-Stamps. And it's going to put Zavin on having some songs to deal with this. And if he can clean up this board, it's going to be a pretty nice spot for him. But J-Stamp still has some cards to play this turn as well. So we shall see. And he's got the Sonic Warrior, and that's going to be real tough for Zavin to deal with. And so it's going to be 6 eggs in one hand, half a dozen in the other here on if you want to answer this board's characters that are exerted, or if you want to put all your eggs into taking out that Ariel. And so I think this is tough. I think I'm going to want to take out the Ariel before anything, but there's no one card that can take out Sonic Warrior. So
yes, there is. No, there's not. I was just like, world's greatest criminal mind. I'm like, oh wait, no, that doesn't actually do it.
Yeah, it does with a little help from some support friends.
I'm just thinking of Medusa.
Yeah, we love Medusa. And that is why Sonic Warrior really wasn't played in core very much, because of that Medusa.
Ruby cards. Get them out of here.
Mm-hmm. But Ruby, even in Infinity, is at a historically low weak point. So the Medusa isn't as much of a problem. And a lot of the Ruby decks aren't even playing Medusa because there's just better cards at this point. And so these cards that didn't see play when they were active in core, like Sonic Warrior, are doing well.
This game is not entirely over. Mm. There is outs here that we could get to in a turn or two if J-Stamps just does not have everything still in hand, which we assume he does.
Yeah.
A couple Zeuses. I guess we've seen 2 of them already go to the discard, but like a Zeus mixed with a strength can take down Ariel.
I believe 3 strengths are gone from J-Stamp's side. I have Zavin still has his strengths though, so that's good. I know 1 is in the Inkwell. I don't believe he's played any to the discard yet, except I spoke too soon because he just played 1, but it's just going to take out the Pete.
Well, we kind of have to do that. It gets rid of one of the singers. It's 3 damage, take our stuff down, and the Pete's probably getting answered by the Ariel. So we kind of want to, take advantage of the strength before we don't have enough characters. It's going to be rough. Ariel can challenge the Rapunzel and then sing. We saw Zavin ink a Rapunzel on this turn and not use that ink. So that's kind of interesting to me, but we probably are seeing all of Zavin's characters leaving play right now, or at least both Rapunzels.
Yeah. And is that going to be one of the last Zeus bolts? I'm starting to lose track here between both sides, but J-Stamps has seen a lot more songs than Zavin has.
So J-Stamps here saying, you know what? I don't trust you not to just have a Zeus in hand, and if I challenge this Rapunzel, and like if I shoot this Rapunzel and challenge this Rapunzel, you could just throw Pete at her and then Zeus her down. I'm not going to give you that option. I
like that.
Yeah, and we know there's only 1 Rapunzel left for Zavin, so he's just betting that that's not in your hand.
Yeah, and a third opponent has just joined the fray, and the clock is going to start to become an issue for this game if it continues in the way it's going, where we're just answering character for character, blow for blow, song for song. At some point, we're going to have to start managing the clock and go for some lore.
And at this point, I don't think it matters who played first because both players have gained tempo back and forth.
Yep.
While J Stamps has been a little bit ahead most of the time, he was on the draw.
Yeah. And he did get that.
Oh, that's that.
Yeah, he did get that momentum back from Zavin whiffing on not one, but two Akuds in the early game that just literally did nothing.
So while Akud is incredibly powerful, and a lot of people are like, oh, it's busted, you have to have a Singer 3. You have to have the Akud, and you have to have the payoff. That's three things you need. And I've played a lot of Magic decks that were like the heroic Magic deck is like you need characters, land, and the combat tricks. If you only have two of those three, your deck does nothing.
Yeah.
And like, sure, the deck still does things here, but if you want that Akud opening, you still need three things. It's a little bit it's similar to the Diablo, but I don't think we're jamming 20 payoff cards to Akud, right? We're not playing that many 4-drops and 2-drops that we want payoffs. We're playing like 10. It's like 1 out of 6 cards maybe.
Yeah, and the one time he didn't even have a character with 5 open ink off of the Akud, so that's not even a payoff. That's just missing like a full on 2/3 of your deck. All right, so we are going to take a Storm here, which at this point, the longer the game goes, the weaker the Storm is compared to the other songs in terms of like how strong the removals are, and especially with it being uninkable. And so he's just going to be hard casting it, putting 2 damage on the Rapunzel, setting up a very large Rapunzel trap if J Stamps has it.
Another strength in the Inkwell.
Yeah, but Zavin just doesn't have the characters to make use out of that strength. And I think if J Stamps has the Rapunzel, that is going to be
or
checkmate.
Song.
Yeah.
Just like in Akud, draw a card, answer the aerial.
Mm-hmm. And so where is your smoothie from?
Dairy Queen.
Dairy Queen.
The wife just got home.
Excellent.
There's that Akud. Draw a card, pay 2, take out that aerial, all for the exertion of a character. Because the 2 ink we're paying, we didn't even shoot it!
Oh, we got to shoot it, right? We're taking that Rapunzel. Okay, I'm interested to see why we didn't shoot it. Because Zavin went to grab the aerial and put it to the discard. And then saw it was Akud and was like, all right, I'll hold off. But really surprised we didn't see that. That was just a free option to take it out, and now we're gonna use that. Okay, so
now we're doing it.
Same thing, same end result, just a little trickier. We got to cycle our Storm, I suppose, and right now I think Zavin is going to be hoping for a draw. But
yeah, with these lores so low, we might as well talk about Lorebot here, supplied by the wonderful Bobby McHugh, who you might be able to see in chat talking about the date we went on the other night as he drove through town. Glorious time for sure, with this wonderful app that not only have we been using in the ICL, but has been used in multiple events over the last year or so now. And we see a whole new world. For 5, we're at that point of the game where we're just throwing last-ditch Hail Marys, hoping for something to stick. But giving J-Stamp 7 cards with that board.
No, not what you want to be doing, because you use your entire turn to play that. They already have the board, so they could get Akuds, start playing more stuff. They don't even need the Akuds. They just play whatever characters they have, and that's pretty much it. And so, so we're going to do some Cindy, set up a couple Singers here, but almost assuredly, J-Stamps is going to draw a song and be able to take out both of these characters. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
He really needed a Pete right there. Maybe had we had a Pete and J-Stamps draws only songs, and then the next turn we play another Pete and an aerial, and we sing some removal on one character, and then the next turn we play removal, whole new world removal, and then the whole new world hand J-Stamps only draws characters that are bad. there could be a chance. But even then, the lore is going to be so high for J Stamps.
Yeah.
Maybe J Stamps loses to the clock.
Yeah, maybe he's not
That's
aware of the clock, decides not to quest this turn for some
Decides
reason.
not to quest.
I've
I
seen
think
it
he's
happen.
aware. He didn't like to.
I've seen it happen before. There was a match last season I was watching. Kurt, I forgot who his opponent was, but his opponent just forgot to quest one turn.
Oh,
And
that's
it happens sometimes. It doesn't look like it's going to happen here, but and Zavin's got about one turn left, I'd say. So even if it was time, J Stamp is going to be able to get to 20 lore through the clock. I believe checkmate is here. Zavin's going to go through the motions, give it everything he's got to try and get there. But this game just really, game 2 for Zavin, his hand was extremely clunky, got clogged up with multiple Zeuses, and then again clogged with multiple Zeuses.
the 23% is going to win this prediction.
Oh, yeah.
Love those upsets, big payoffs.
They win.
And I bet this Sad Beast, someone in chat, a Salty Ducks player, was saying that they've got some spice for the mirror match on the draw. And I think it's the Beast that hasn't been terrible.
It has not. Sonic Warrior really just the MVP in this game specifically. Oh, and we've seen Namari, which I have not seen in any of the matches, so I assume that's probably just one or two of
The what?
the Namari, the 5/5.
Oh,
Draw
I
card,
missed the
discard.
Namari. There
Yeah.
she is. Just a whole new world. Maybe there's a world J Stamps runs out of cards. I don't think it's happening, but that could be Zavin's last out. Or he just likes drawing cards as much as I do. Like the ability to just draw cards. But I'm pretty sure this is game right there. Salty Ducks takes it with 2 seconds to spare.
Perfect timing. Oh, man. Gosh, I wanted to ask Zavin what his hand was, but thanks to J Stamps playing Bare Necessities, I don't need to. We saw it was 2 Zeuses, a whole new world, and a Punzi. So the Salty Ducks take match 2 after match 1 was a draw. Mirror match versus mirror match. Will we get another mirror match?
Who can tell? I know, but I'm not going to tell.
Yeah.
Because I'm a jerk, I guess. That's where we are. Whew. But
what a match that was. We got to see kind of the 3 sides of Amber Steel, where you have these onslaughts on the play. Each player got one of those. And then game 3 was this just sort of, we don't have the best card. We don't have the best option, but we keep fighting for that board. We keep trying to establish something. And J Stamps was the first person to establish that something and get something going for him and be able to take the momentum and finally push Zavin out of the game with that Sonic Warrior, which ended up being the deciding factor. It started with the Beast, forcing Zavin to throw damage on it with the Angel, getting rid of the strong card, and it ended with that Sonic Warrior, which I think survived like 5 to 7 turns at the end there. And let's welcome Fumbles to the building.
Hi.
He's back for more. He had a lot of fun in round 1. He took a little break. Did you end up watching that match? How did you like it? Amber Steel versus Amber Steel.
Man, that's terrifying. Amber cards are crazy, man. That's probably what I'll wind up playing at soon enough. But I think Akud is a crazy card. Seeing the Akud whiffs are probably going to be the new sign of aerial whiffs. And so, if your Akud isn't playing out and cheating out a bigger character, you're probably pretty lucky.
Yeah, the Amber Steel, it's one of those decks that when it is flowing, it looks unstoppable. But then you have this where you miss with an Akud. You can miss with an aerial. And things just sort of fall apart really quickly. The wheels come off the train, and you just sort of stumble out of the gate there. And it's just,
you mean you kind of fumble out the gate?
Yeah. Oh.
Hey.
I like it. I missed that. That was a layup there.
It was. It was just right there for you.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was not in the 23% on that one. So
Oh no. Were you on the 70?
no comment at this time. But no, that was cool. I 2 mirrors back to back is pretty interesting. What are you guys thinking? Green steel or green purple?
We got to see Diablo, right?
I
Diablo
can't
has to be
say.
played in game 3.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
pop us over to the game here.
I'm thinking
Oh,
Ruby
no,
Sapphire
fix something
fumbles. I'm
first.
thinking Ink and Lore's bringing Ruby Sapphire. I don't know why. I
I
know what Chicago likes, and Chicago
likes
Ruby Sapphire.
some red blue. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I recall
do.
those days.
They definitely.
If
do.
we have a red blue mirror, I gotta get some coffee, man. we got a long game ahead of us.
Yeah, Tamatoa, 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 Tamatoa.
So shiny.
Tamatoa.
Tamatoa.
Oh, okay. Do we know who's playing the last match yet? Who do we got?
Oh, you want to know? You
We
want to
wanna
know?
know.
Oh, it's
Chat.
Can
Aaron
you shout it?
versus Nico.
Got it. Okay.
And we're going to pop over to them right now. I will probably see you all after this next round.
All right. Sounds good. And Wonder's out of there. Sounded like a little ghost.
Oof, finally, am I right?
All right.
And if only we could hear him now. But curious to see what happens now with our game 3 here. This is gonna be a tough one.
Yeah, Aaron P on the play after Ink and Lore lost that last match, and it looks like Nico is only going to be altering 1 card if I saw correctly. Didn't get to see how many Aaron altered, unfortunately, but Nico seems to have a very strong hand, and if there is a scary thing for a deck to do is an Emerald deck that doesn't alter cards. And so Nico altering 1 card is quite scary if it's Emerald, not as scary if it's Ruby Sapphire.
I would still be a little scared if my Ruby Sapphire opponent kept their hand.
You're always a little scared of people keeping that
Popsicle
hand,
sale
but...
Popsicle is still a line that I'm terrified of.
Oh yeah, and we love popping off.
We love popping off. Me and you have done a lot of popping off in the days.
Oh yeah. Historically, I played only Rubies. Actually, I played 4 Flamershomes in every tournament deck. Okay, starting off with Morph.
Baby, not a mirror. Whoa, that's a Prince John. That's the Prince John get back an item, correct?
Interesting. So he must have had this deck built and said, "Hey, Flaversham, you're Prince John now." Is my guess for that card.
And Aaron clearly asking, what does Prince John do?
Yeah.
So if you've played an item deck, you've looked at all the 4-cost cards that happen in blue decks, and you're like, what can we do? And you know what? This Prince John had his day in the sun in like 1 event, and like that's about it. But quite a handy card to get back some items, just like another way to get back items, and as a 3/4, the stat line actually being fairly relevant.
And if Rascal Adams is still in the chat, he would notoriously keep sending me deck lists with Prince John, and I say no, just play Grammatala. Please play Grammatala.
And we saw Aaron Ink morph, so we're assuming green steel.
Yeah, for sure. For sure has to be green steel if you're playing morph, right? And so we do have the strongest opening for Sapphire Steel in the Bell, which will stop a lot of early lore gain from Aaron P, which is kind of the crux of what Emerald Steel is doing, is actually getting lored across the finish line.
We are going to shift with the new Winter Spell action that is basically a Pete song.
But more than a Pete song, because it also
shuts down
items.
Very important. So I keep the ancient ways. Thank you, producer, because I had no idea the card name. I just call it Pete song.
Yeah, and I actually saw something very interesting a couple weeks ago in the last ICL Infinity Week. Fungus was playing Ruby Sapphire versus an Emerald Steel deck, and the Emerald Steel deck got him in an infinite combo lock with Muses, Max Goof, and Ancient Ways. And Red Blue cannot do anything except play Sisu if they just keep playing and keep the Ancient Ways. And so if you don't draw Sisu, you can't do anything. And Fungus was not at 8 ink, so he couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
And so like 5 turns in a row of just no items, no songs. It's what do you do?
This is like why I don't want to be playing this deck, but we can still use abilities here. We can still play items and songs here because we use that a card to shift onto Diablo.
Yep.
But no song punish here. Yeah. And we're not going to quest Bell because we're afraid of what might come from this morph. So could shift Beast here, could shift another Diablo.
Aaron is coming out swinging, has the shift Diablo, which is really strong. And we're going to sing a Storm, and it's going to take out that Tipo, drawing a card, and following it up with the Beast. So really, you can't draw any better than what Aaron has drawn. And he saw Zavin's hand, and he said, give me all that luck you didn't have because I stole it from you. All of your luck is mine now, and I'm taking it to win game 1 of match 3 of the ICL. Now, unfortunately for Ink and Lore, they're playing for a draw at best if Aaron wins this because of how match 1 played out. But Nico is not going to let him take this win. He is going to fight for it. He is going to play that Prince John.
Prince John, and now we go for 1 with our Bell. I guess we turn her sideways. I would probably just keep her upright because I want to make sure that this card can, like, something can fight the Beast, you know?
Yeah, I think what he's thinking is if you trade that Beast in, then you're not going to be drawing cards. And I really don't have an answer to just stop you from drawing. Now, did we see him draw the 2 cards with the Beast? I
didn't see it.
I only saw 1, but
we're going to see a Bruno. Uh-oh, we're really contemplating here. Could we be challenging into the Bell?
Yeah, I hope we're not challenging the Bell. Beast is just a turret.
Well, if you forget your Beast triggers, it's even easier to do so when you have damage on it.
Yeah, that is true. So we're thinking through the lines here, and it looks like we're just going to take our nope. We have another Storm, and we are going to play it on the Bell, giving us an Ink, which allows us to play another Diablo. And we're going to check Nico's hand. And Nico...
Ooh, we have the Robot Queen. All right, J-Bomb, what's the Robot Queen do?
It is removal.
It's a 1-cost item that when you play a character, you could pay 1 and banish that item to deal 2 damage. A way to banish the Diablo.
Yeah, so we do have an answer for that Diablo next turn, finally, which is going to be very helpful because Aaron has expunged a ton of resources to get the board state where it's at, and he's going to go ahead and discard the Prince John that he Bruno'd. And drawing another card off of that Prince John's effect, where Prince John, anytime your opponent discards a card, you draw. So not only are you ruining their plan, you're also getting some resources from it, and then Diablo's drawing cards, and it starts this whatever.
Did we draw for Diablo there? It looks like we might have missed our Diablo draw.
Okay, so yeah.
And that's probably one thing to start getting back in the habit of is Diablo triggers, Beast triggers, really announcing them to yourselves because we don't really have too much of that happening in Core Constructed right now. A lot of that happening more so in the Infinity Realm.
Yeah, I ended up having to do the song, when you draw, I draw, just like that. And then I never missed a Diablo trigger again.
So let's see here. I didn't see what characters we had in hand to pop this Robot Queen, but we do need to get this Diablo off the board.
We do have a Scrooge, so we could Robot Queen.
Ooh, Cogsworth. All right, sound the alarm. Cogsworth is playable in blue steel in current day and age.
Yeah, he sure is. And so he is going to sacrifice. That is why he quested with the Bell last turn, because he really doesn't want that Beast getting a card. And so we've seen Aaron, I think, forego a Beast trigger and a Diablo trigger so far. So he should be 2 cards higher. We'll see if it comes back to bite him, because the longer this game goes, the more that favors Sapphire Steel. And so Keep the Ancient Ways is going to be played, which is
now that Robot Queen's offline.
Yeah, and so he had the ink finally to play Scrooge, Robot Queen, then Scrooge, then trigger the Robot Queen to take out the Diablo. But that Keep the Ancient Ways is going to slow it down at the cost of a card. But he will make up for that card from the Diablo, assuming he draws.
Bell would not be alive because of the banish. Swinging into the beast still took 3 damage, or 2 damage, right? It was Cogsworth 1, right? Resist. Believe so.
Cogsworth is 1 resist,
Yeah.
and so
only needed 2 damage to have the Bell be banished.
Yep.
All right, and we're gonna remember our Diablo draw. Looks like it. Yeah.
Yeah, he was ready that time. Alrighty. And so Nico going to just play that Scrooge, see what we get from the Scrooge. Getting a little choppy here on the picture, but
hopefully not choppy enough to whiff on an item here for Scrooge. We do get our Maurice's Workshop staple in these item builds. Get that draw engine going.
Very strong. A lot less strong when your opponent's got a Diablo out. So
and a lot less strong when you can't even play it.
Yeah.
Oof. So and it's never a good sign when our Cogsworth is challenging. I will say that.
Yeah. He, like the Beast, is Mr. Turret Man.
And then even crazier here, right? What if he plays like I'm Still Here and then just gives the resist to the Beast and can take out this Cogsworth, and it gets really dicey if that's that happens.
Yeah, and Nico's thrown in the towel on that Robot Queen, figures I'm not going to get that off at this point. So this Diablo has just been sticking around, but it's really only drawn a couple cards here just because of the miss. And now the Bruno
casting.
I think he wants to take out that Cogsworth, because Cogsworth's one of those cards. If I see it sideways, oh, I'm taking it out. I don't care if I lose this Beast to take it out. So he's going to hard cast, sees what he discards, going to get rid of Ink Runner.
Ink Runner, that's actually pretty huge.
Which is why he was so quick to get rid of the Robot Queen, was because he knew he had an answer next turn. But unfortunately, his whole board's wiped, his Ink Runner's gone, and Aaron's got the 2 most important cards in his deck on board, which is the Diablo and the Prince John. Now, did he draw a card off the Prince John from the Bruno?
He should have 3 in hand, right?
Yeah, he should have 3. He did. Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Man, and then questing with Prince John, because we know that there's no threat of rush in this color combination. So
yeah,
all the cards in the hand for Nico here, and not a lot of the answers happening.
Yeah, and this is without Hiram. This is what Sapphire Steel does. They're just sort of slow. They're getting their ink. They're taking a lot of turns to develop. And so had he had an answer for this Diablo, Aaron would be just thin on resources and have no lore. So technically Nico's not out of this game yet. If he can just take out this Diablo and then get this workshop going, he's still in pretty good position.
Yeah. Inca Muses here, not going to be too useful in this matchup. Especially without a Hiram now to bounce. All right, we have another Prince John coming down.
Here's Johnny. Another turret. Emerald Steel, if you guys aren't familiar, a lot of turrets in this deck, a lot of warded characters that can't be really interacted with, and you just keep them up front because they have these perpetual effects where when I do things,
whoa,
I get to draw cards. Okay.
Double removal on the Prince John here. Pretty good. Keeps our Diablo alive because that Prince John might have got back a Ink Runner, could have sang a song. Good thing we're remembering to draw with our Diablo here. We have a Popsicle, draw for Pop, draw for Workshop. Are we just going to sacrifice it all?
Yeah. And this is always the bane of Sapphire decks is I got to play I top deck a Pop with nothing else, and I got to give you the Diablo draw. And so this Diablo has been out since turn 2 and has drawn Aaron a significant amount of cards where at any point, if that was gone, he would have just been out of gas turns and turns ago. And surprisingly, he still doesn't have this game locked down yet. If this Diablo can be answered, there's still hope for Nico.
Yeah, and we did producer Luke here checking that we did do a -2 lore to ourselves because we just chose to sing the Strength of Raging Fire instead of hard casting when we had 3 ink left over.
Yeah. So Aaron just needs to slow down a little bit, think through a little bit more, count the ink out, and
Inking
just make
Beast
sure
here is
we're
interesting.
doing everything. Yeah, inking Beast to play the Diablo is very interesting indeed.
Because
Max
we wanted
Scoop,
to pay the
uh,
one. Oh,
yeah,
that's pretty.
I
That's a
see.
spicy meatball right there.
Now it all makes sense.
It's
We
all
did
coming up
that.
roses here for Aaron.
Yeah, and that is going to be the nail in the coffin, unless it is exactly grab your sword off the Heezy. Is it going to be grab your sword, or are we going to the next game?
No chance my friend Nico here is playing grab your sword.
It's a good card right now. Do you see all the how many?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm seeing it. I don't believe grab your sword is in this list. Where's my channel points? I'll put them all on the line here.
Yeah. All right. I call. I'm just kidding. I don't think he has grab your
Looks
sword
like we're
either.
gonna have another 8-cost Tamatoa come
So
down.
shiny.
So shiny. Can we get ourselves a 19 lore? What do you think? Do you think we have you think we could change some items here?
Unfortunately, I do not think so, Fumbles. I think this game is over.
Oof. Do we have another removal?
At this point, I think we can just quest with it all, play with whatever we have, and have it be over. Interesting.
What are we hunting for here?
More lore, maybe, but at the cost of 1 lore. So Ursula.
Okay, Ursula, sure. Hardcast strength that removes the Tamatoa so shiny.
Yep, because in unison with the 2 damage from the storm.
If we had any hope in this game, we certainly lost it there. And even more so, I don't even think you play this Hidden Cove, J-Bomb. I think I would hold this in hand and just not even give my opponent the information that I'm playing Hidden Cove.
Yeah, agreed. And that will do it for game 1. Aaron with one of the strongest starts possible, and if Nico just had a way to take out that Diablo, it would have been an entirely different game, because that Diablo drew at least 9 cards.
And then how do we bring back Diablo into core? How do we reprint Diablo? That's what we should be talking about here.
Diablo again. It's pretty easy. You just reprint it. We've seen it. We got Maldragon. One of my favorite cards is back. Not
a staple,
very much.
some would say. Was Maldragon. A staple of Lorcana Days Old was Diablo.
Oh, yeah.
Bring him back.
And Flavisham. Oh, the card that got banned twice because he was so nice.
That's
true.
The
card's so nice, you got to ban him twice. That's what it is.
I have 2 sets of Flavishams, 1 foil, 1 non-foil. One was for my blue steel deck, one was for my red blue deck. They're now hung up in the their jerseys hung up in the rafters. So we had a good run.
Oh yeah, a great run. The best answer to Emerald Steel. Go ahead, discard my cards. I'm just going to keep drawing 2 every turn.
Yeah. Pretty good body too, being a 1/6.
Oh yeah, that was the best part. He would have been a fine card if he was just a 1/3, which is what he should have been statted with that effect. But he was overstatted and got to draw 2. And got to draw 2 more than once. He's probably been a fine card if he didn't get to do it again as well. Alrighty. And Nico gets to be on the play this turn, or this game, I'm sorry. And we'll see how the alters go. With Aaron, I'm going to guess that Emerald Steel is going to be aggressively altering, because that's usually what they do, unless they do a keep 7, which is extremely scary. Now, remember, Nico kept 6 last game. I think he's going to be probably looking to get Diablo answers at all costs this game, knowing what Aaron is on.
Yeah, I would have to assume every blue steel player kind of knows how to adjust into the green steel or Diablo matchup. Robot Queen is a pretty cool tool. I think that card's really good. Ingenious Device is another card that people are using. There's a lot of answers now from hand that aren't just songs.
Yeah.
But Keep the Ancient Ways is a good way to punish the items versions and songs. So just hopefully if Aaron has a Diablo come out early, has a way to protect it.
Yeah, and we saw Nico alter 5 cards versus Aaron's 2. So I would bet all of my channel points that Aaron has Shift Diablo.
Because they always have it.
Yeah.
In my experience, though, the blue steel player always has it. Because I've been playing a lot more birds lately than I have been playing blue cards. So
Yeah, so we'll see if our predictions are right. And I didn't see a lot of great answers from Nico for Diablo. We saw Ink Runner, which is kind of an answer if you have a board.
And we saw the weakness really of Prince John not being an enter effect.
Yeah.
Really shows versus like say Tala or Scrooge.
And that's exactly what I told Rascal Adams all those years ago about the card, where it just doesn't do anything on play, and you really, really need to make sure you get those resources and develop to the board, because these decks are weak in the early game and they use all the resources to move to the Inkwell. And so when you just play a card out and it does nothing to give you ink or
Morph Pass, we like that. We take that as the blue player.
So we keep 5 and we do not have a Diablo is interesting. I'm very curious to see what we have if it's not a 1-drop. So likely we will see a morph this turn maybe. And we
Inca Beast play a morph. Yep.
Yeah. All right. So next turn, I'm going to guess it'll be a beast, another beast.
Oof, it's a little risky going into somebody who's going to be on 5 ink, could just sing a song here because we assume they're going to play a character, or they could play Workshop, start that engine.
If I'm Nico and I have Storm, I'm hard casting Storm on this morph.
That's it, yeah. It shuts down quite a bit of time for him to have any answer. Ursula 3 could be coming next turn. That's what would be in my head. So if there was any reason to hold some form of removal, maybe it's for that.
Very true. Ursula, devastating card, which he gets a singing.
Don't start yawning. I'll start yawning.
Oh, that was no yawn. That was we cut it off at the heel. Okay, so we get the Robot Queen out, and we're actually going to pay to pop the Robot Queen and take out that morph. And so very strong start to counterplay Aaron here from Nico. And we're going to see what
goes for 1.
Yeah, and we're going to see what Aaron does to counteract this strong play. And we're going to ink Ursula, bringing out the Diablo. So he did have the Diablo. It looks like he was just looking for the little Diablo, keeping what probably was a morph and a beast as a follow-up, and said, hey, if I hit this little Diablo, I've got the same curve as last game, and I probably win the game. Fortunately,
this Diablo is flying a little blind right now, though. Yeah. Doesn't know what's in the hand. Could be any kind of answers to it.
Yeah. And that is the importance of the little Diablo, is you can kind of rehearse and see what you need to play around and just get a lot of vital information.
Is that the device? Hard to see. A ingenious device. 3-cost item. You could pay 2, banish it, deal 3 damage, and draw a card, discard a card. Quite a cool item.
Yeah, and it says, bye-bye, Diablo. No birdie, no card.
And we're going to go for 2. And quite a strong start in comparison to this game from last game. So,
and Aaron has lost all of his ability to generate cards. And so even if he plays a Prince John here, which is typically what he would like to be doing at this point, he would have loved to just play Prince John, sing Sudden Chill, and be after the races. But he's just going to spend his whole turn hard casting a Storm.
Oof.
See that.
That's the worst timeline here for Aaron, as he begrudgingly throws down the ink of the We Don't Talk About Bruno. Hopefully an ink here to play Tamato Goliath. Whoa.
Okay, interesting. I did not expect to see a Goliath in this deck.
Goliath, early on in Infinity testing has been quite strong.
Oh, yeah.
So it's cool to see some of these newer cards really sneak into these games. But we do have the Bruno. Luckily, have Bruno protection as well. So hopefully this this Goliath does not get banished here for this discarded 5.
We say roll again. We roll again. We just keep rolling, rolling,
Oh!
rolling. Got the Goliath. We
And
snuck
they
in
always
good.
hit.
Yeah. All right, perfect. So Nico is going to draw and try to recover from that
Oh,
loss.
another
And
one.
Another one.
Another one.
Here's the thing. The Bruno didn't miss because it couldn't not hit a Goliath because he had all Goliaths. He probably had another card, but
Oops,
it's
all
fun to
Goliaths.
think. Oops, all Goliaths.
Yep. I did see a quick glimpse of the hand here. Looks like we have a beast coming down. We do have a Diablo in hand as well. And discard a card for the Goliath. I was wondering what was happening.
Oh yeah,
there,
I was like,
but...
yeah. It's not too often I see that.
Oh man, the disgust of the hand right now. You can just see it. And Beast really looking pretty interesting now against this this Goliath. But we're gonna get some cards in our hand too on Nico's side here. But what are we gonna do? Because we get the ink one and play the Robot Queen to not overdraw cards.
Oh yeah, and so we are gonna say that Prince John is not doing it for me. So we're gonna go ahead, play the Robot Queen, play the Popsicle. The Popsicle's gonna allow us to draw up to 2, basically doing really nothing because the Goliath will let us drop to 2. But we have a Popsicle on board now, so might as well spend the ink. Not getting a ton of value because of that Goliath, but still something. So Beast
Still a 6/5 body, which is quite relevant.
Yep. So we are up to 4 cards in hand. And what are we going to do?
Might be looking at game 3 at this point.
Yeah. I do not think there's a realm of possibilities where Aaron wins, especially if he is hard casting Let the Storm Rage on this board with an active Popsicle. But he is going to try his best. And I'm going to probably guess that Beast may be going into that Goliath, but at the same time, I mean, you've got 3 cards in your hand. You're going to likely want to ink because you have to discard one anyway. So unless you've got 3 uninkables,
which is likely in this deck, it always has quite a high uninkable count.
Yeah. But I guess that the other option is like, I mean, if he has Bruno, he's singing Bruno almost assuredly. Oh, okay. He probably has 3 uninkables.
That's 3 Diablos in the discard now? Or no, that's 2. 2 Diablos, 1 Bruno, 3 Storms or something like that. 2 Storms. Yeah, that's a lot of gas. That's now gone.
A lot of uninkables gone, yeah. And so I think this is going to just be what Emerald Steel does, is they know they've lost the game and they have to play out the next couple turns. And that is the biggest reason why I was never a fan of actually playing Emerald Steel myself. It's you get in these board states that you know you can't come back because you're one of those decks that has to control and dictate the game. And the second you lose control and you're at 0 lore, like there's nothing you can do in the realm of possibilities to get you back in the game. And so it's going to take a bit of time, but Nico is going to for sure get there, in my opinion.
Here comes a Tamatoa. So shiny.
Yeah.
And really unfortunate for Aaron here that 2 damage also just gets healed off and removed for nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of what he had to play into, was like really all he could do. And then unfortunately, he likely drew the Diablo off of the Storm, is what I'd had to guess if he discarded it. Curious what his other 2 cards he would be saving, but there's going to be pretty much no way that he survives another turn unless he has exactly Bruno.
Yeah.
And even then, it just delays.
Even then, we're still getting to 18 possibly. So let's see if there's any magic that could happen in Aaron's hands right now.
There's always magic in Disney Lorcana, just not enough to help Aaron win the game. All right. And another device to the discard with Prince John, ready to draw his card.
And with the Tebatoa to get it right back.
And enough for him to quest for game and bring this to game 3, where Aaron will be on the play, which Discard loves doing. And there is another Diablo. So his hand was riddled with Diablos, Storm Rageons, and it looks like, what's the last card? Fumbles?
He has
Is he
2
gonna
in
play
hand.
something? I'd love to play something here.
Did we have strength? Yeah, that's not going to get the job done, sadly. It could
I
be
suppose-
a Zeus.
I suppose that the strength. I mean, it's still going to be lethal, probably 3.
No, I mean,
4.
it's certainly lethal. Yeah, if we can't remove the Tamato so shiny, this game is quite over. There's 3 items down. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. And so Aaron is going to lose this game. Nico is going to take it from the Tamatoa, getting enough lore.
Nice.
And we are going to go to a game 3 here.
3 coming up here.
All right. And he says, I want to draw that card with Diablo before I scoop.
Yeah, and see what we could where the Bruno was.
Yeah. What could have been? I never like to do that myself. I never like to see what could have been, because I saw what had been. Okay, so we're shuffling up. We're going to this game 3 where Aaron, if he just gets a pretty average hand, I think he's going to be feeling pretty good, especially on the play. A Shift Diablo. Nico has removal answers, but they are kind of clunky in the early game and requires a little setup. So maybe there's a world where turn 1, he sets up a pop. Turn 2, he does the Robot Queen and takes it out, similar to what we saw last. It takes a lot of cards for that to go off, though. And so it's gonna require an aggressive mulligan, I think, from Nico. But that's typically what you have to do versus Diablo decks, is you just go for nothing but ramp and Diablo answers, and perhaps a Bell.
Yeah, I think a Bell is very key for Nico here. If we don't have the Bell, maybe we could get ourselves into the Robot Queen. Our only cheap character, I believe, would probably be Tipo, so we might have to wait a little bit. But the Bell is pretty essential for this to go perfectly for Nico.
All right, channel points ready to go. It's betting time, guys. Get your channel points out. Is it going to be Aaron in game 3 to take it for Ink and Lore and allow Ink and Lore to get the draw today? Or is it going to go to Nico and let the Salty Ducks take the win 2-0-1 overall?
I think we're going to see Green Steel really take this. I'm curious to see the Blue Steel flip this back around. But play draw seems to be kind of where this matchup feels for me.
Yeah, and Ink and Lore has seen some tough hands today. I don't think I've seen a team have tougher hands than Zaven and Aaron, and Zaven's game 2 and 3, and then Aaron's game 2 here. So kind of hoping that Aaron just gets like a slightly average to above average hand, and Nico gets a slightly average to above average hand. And we just see what each of these decks can do when they do their game plan. I don't want to see a limping game here where they're just sort of puts it around and hard casting storms.
I want both these guys full cylinders. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we want to see. I like the game 3 of Zaven versus Lucky or Salty Ducks in the last game was incredible with J stamps.
All right. So I believe we saw 4 sent back for Aaron. I didn't see how many Nico sent back, but it seems about standard.
I got 2 involved in the channel points and did not see either of them. So we're covering at least one. We've got 108 versus 80 in favor of Aaron, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Wonder. And we do see Diablo into the Inkwell. And we get to see the hand, which I like as a caster a lot more.
What is that card next to Scrooge? Is that Zeus? That is.
It is.
On
Yeah,
came
Zeus,
Zeus.
Scrooge, Sale, Pop It Up, Prince John, a.k.a. Flaversham's replacement, Fishbone, and Tipo. So a pretty solid hand for Nico.
It's really, really solid if Aaron doesn't shift Diablo here.
Yeah.
That's a perfect hand if we don't see shift Diablo.
Now, the big question is if he shifts Diablo, are you a Tipo or a Sail man?
If he shifts Diablo, I think I still sail if I have the extra item.
Yeah, and that is a fundamental thing I think a lot of newer players don't do, is because they say, oh, I don't want to give you a card and I'll still get ink. However, you need to keep your resources high and make sure they never get your hand to 0 if you want to win this game.
Yeah, because you have about like a 2-turn window to really
Okay.
punish the Diablo. And so if you sail into the bell into like removal, then there's that option. Tipo minusing your hand size when you kind of need all the answers you can is kind of tough. But we'll see what we choose here. We're probably going to be choosing the Tipo if I had to guess, because we do have a lot of cards in hand, it looks like.
Yeah, and so Nico says it's Tipo time. I personally would have liked the Sail there for the reasons stated, but I can see it as well. His hand is rather large, and we've got the Pete coming in to stop any actions next turn. So likely Nico is just going to probably play that Scrooge and call it a day.
Yeah, and also could just be trying to get his hand down for Goliath as well. But Pete, blow the whistle.
Tamatoa to the Inkwell, which is one of the cards drawn. Oh, he's actually going to choose to go with the Prince John over the Scrooge, which actually makes a lot of sense here.
Does it? I want to play the Scrooge for sure. I want something that would not be traded with the Pete here.
That's true.
If we do shift Pete here, that could be pretty wild as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure Aaron's playing the Shift Pete. We haven't seen it yet, but Shift Pete is very strong. Oh, Aaron just has the Wombo combo this game, and we say goodbye Workshop.
Because we do have the Prince John in play. We could always get that Workshop back as it stands.
Yeah, very interesting, actually. Heads up play. If we truly want it.
If you want it, to get it.
Aaron's hand getting a little low, but thankfully he's got that little bird to help him refill. It's stocking day at the vending machine, and that bird is going to get our hand maxed.
So I believe he still has Along Came Zeus in hand, so could use that to get rid of the Diablo.
Yep. And I think at this point, I'd really like to use that to get rid of the Diablo.
Yeah.
Yep. And Aaron asks, which character would you like? And
yep. And there's only one answer.
Yeah.
And here comes our Scrooge.
And I like playing the Scrooge because we could have also hardcasted the Zeus and used the Prince John ability, but I like developing the board, getting that Scrooge out, and making sure that we have another singer if need be. And we are continuing to play more items. We've got the Fortisphere. And Nico's not in the bad spot.
Yeah, Nico's Engine's online right now. This is pretty scary spot for Aaron. Could even get back the Workshop next turn if we don't get rid of this Prince John.
Yeah, and we really need to get rid of that Prince John, because that Workshop going online is going to be quite scary, especially when you don't have a Diablo to share the draw with his opponent.
Yeah, and if he sees a Tamatoa here on Nico's side, it's going to be really scary too, because we have we have a Popsicle and a Fortisphere down.
Yeah,
shifting.
We do see the Shift Pete, and we are
prep for it, man.
Gonna just Bruno. Interesting.
And it has to be Prince John here.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And I like the Bruno there because it does protect our Pete, which makes it so that there can't be a crackback from the Scrooge to take out the Pete. And so Pete is almost assuredly going to live the next turn. We're going to discard, and we're going to hit that Prince John. The Brunos love hitting the card that you send back, which basically makes it a Dragonfire that also draws, which that's how you'd like to see it.
Yeah, and the resist now active because Pete is exerted, and Nico can no longer sing songs.
Yep. And that is the stopping of singing songs. It's very detrimental, especially when Blue Steel does not have as much ink as they'd like to by this point in the game, because they have not been able to play the Fishbone. They've only ramped once.
All right, and it looks like Tipo's questing for one. Let's see what we have going on here. What can Nico do to really disrupt this Pete?
Yeah, if Nico can get by this Pete, he's going to be pretty close to out of the woods and start taking full control of this game.
Ink Runner coming down could pay 1 to give a character evasive.
Oh,
Okay,
all
we
right.
do have the workshop available.
Okay, he has got his pretty much full combo out. Aaron does not have a extremely strong board presence. He's got a strong board presence with Pete and Prince John. So unless there's a lot of discard coming, Nico could start to have control of this game. Because at any point, an item off the top is going to be good.
If that last card is Tamatoa 6, Happy as a Clam, I don't think you ink there because you want to try to hold on to that card. Because if we see one sudden chill here, that could get really scary.
Yeah, so it looks like Beast is going to come down. If Aaron has a sudden chill or a Bruno, I'd love to sing it here, take out that Scrooge, and put keep the Ancient Ways is going to be good to make sure your Beast stands the test of time and gets you at least 1 card, so thereby replacing itself for next turn.
Okay, now 2 cards in hand for Nico. What can we be doing here? If we play Happy as a Clam, we could get back a workshop. I don't think there was any other items discarded, but we could banish the Popsicle, be able to draw it back. But it looks like we're just going to quest with Tipo. And are we going to play any cards this turn?
Unfortunately for Nico, I think like half of his deck
Probably
is
just
actions
items
and songs.
Yeah.
And so that's going to put Aaron in a position where if he can get some discard here on this turn, he's going to feel really good because he's going to get all the gas in the world in order to just keep chugging along and get his engine going.
Oof.
And Ursula's going to come down and Diablo, but this is going to give Nico an opening to be able to start developing his items and drawing a lot of cards. But he is only at 6 ink, so he can't do a ton of cycling with the workshop just yet. And that board is starting to get very strong.
Gets very scary. When I see the Ursula and Diablo come down and this Pete, important to note, though, you also have to get rid of that Tipo there to just make sure that Strength of a Raging Fire does not banish your Ursula or Diablo for free.
Yeah, Emerald Steel loves to just always take out characters when it can, especially for free, just because it's such a board controlling game that the lore doesn't really matter because you're going to get all of the lore in like 2 or 3 turns once you finally just have that extreme control of the game. And we are going to get that bomb to come out. And
I think you have to, because we can't even banish it, right? Oh, can't sing songs. Yeah. The punish of the Pete. And can't pop the device. We can't get rid of Ursula right now. This is looking pretty scary. Okay, we do pop and banish the Ingenious Device.
And what are we going with? We are taking the Ursula out.
I think that's the right call.
It's tough. It's definitely Diablo or Ursula, and you can make arguments for both, and I think anybody wouldn't fault you for choosing either. But in this situation,
Ursula can end this game next turn.
Yeah.
Diablo can't.
Yeah, I think I would have gone with the Diablo just because I'm so far behind that if they have that song, I'm going to lose this game. But if they don't, and I take out the Diablo, I at least have a chance to take out the Ursula next turn, and then maybe I'm in it.
So. Oh man, when they keep playing 5-cost characters, I start feeling real scared.
Yeah, and the beasts are just going to keep refueling and going to get the extra willpower on that Diablo.
What are we at lore wise? 3 gets a little scary here, but yeah, I think I would do this. I think this is fine. You let your opponent have the option to banish the Pete here.
And as well as the Diablo with the Ink Runner.
Yeah, you can't take out both. I guess you would have to hard cast Along Came Zeus onto the Pete's, challenge with Bell, and then challenge with Scrooge into the Diablo with the Ink Runner.
Yeah.
But is that really helping us?
You leave Aaron with 2 beasts, so I think that while Aaron has very, very low resources. He's just generating so many and just cycling through them. And then this
He's
is just the
drawing
power.
3 next turn.
Yeah. And yeah, he drew with the Diablo there. It's just like he's just going through so many cards and so many resources a turn, and this is exactly what Emerald Steel wants to be doing. It looked kind of grim for a turn or two there, but then he just put the gas on with the Beasts and the Prince John. And this Pete has done a momentous amount of work this game.
Yeah. All right, so we will remove the Diablo with the Ink Runner. All right, let's see what we get now. This is why I was almost going to say you could quest with all glimmers here. Might have been safe.
And the
Marlin's
carpet
Carpet Bag. And that's probably why we're playing Prince John, is because of this card here.
Yeah, discard it, bring it back. All right, Ink the Tipo, our favorite ink in the game, mine personally. And we are going to get the bomb back, which is going to have a bombastic play for Nico. If he can get it off. And this Bell is going to put 3 damage on the Cove.
And now, go ahead.
And then now Aaron is just going to draw a lot of cards and just have a full grip at the start of his turn.
Yeah, and I think Aaron's pretty safe to quest with everything here. Because I think you could end this game in 2 turns now. You saw that they have the device in hand. You could go out of your way to banish the Bell and the Scrooge if you want to be extra cautious.
Oh, yeah.
But it's 8 lore in on the board right now. I kind of want to get that 8 lore.
Yeah, and now the discard is coming into play and giving Aaron even more cards and costing Nico his precious resources. And basically, Nico is just struggling for air at this point, and Aaron is just saying, no, I'm not helping you out of that pool.
Yeah. Okay. We have our let the Storm Rage on, put an extra damage onto the Scrooge.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Thinking a little bit more now, we're going to ink that Diablo, play another Storm to finish the Scrooge off, and now we've got a Bell and a Dream against the world here. And in a lot of Disney movies, that would be all you need. But unfortunately, this is not a Disney fairy tale. And that Bell is not going to have a heroic ending for Nico. And it looks like Ink and Lore is going to take this game in the next turn or so.
Yeah. Doesn't have enough lore on board to finish the game, but getting close.
Yeah. It's going to be not next turn, but the turn after, almost assuredly that Aaron will take this game for Ink and Lore, and the match will end 1-1-1 for a draw for Ink and Lore. And
this makes me really question the Blue Steel players of the world to still choose and opt into playing Blue Steel. What a choice.
Yeah. Over at World Class Cars, we've decided to never let anyone play that color combo again in Infinity in this tournament. So if you're playing against us, don't expect that.
Yeah, no way.
All right. Nico doing his best to continue the game for another turn. Has
we get
all
the
the
device
items
back with Carpet Bag. Okay, and we're out of cards in hand, I think.
Yep, out of cards in hand. A Bell against the world once more. Stopping the Beast from drawing. We're going to 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17 lore on this turn. If we play any sort of characters, heck, we might not even need to play any characters. There's not much that Nico can do to answer anything but the Prince John next turn. So Aaron going to carefully count on his ink, see what the options are, and
yeah, this is going through the reps right now. Just making sure you finish this game off cleanly, play every character in your hand. All lore matters right now. And the options that Nico has are negative.
Yeah. And voice and R&B, I winked. I hope you guys, I winked. Don't worry.
I didn't wink. I wanted the smoke.
Oh, how fun. Okay. And we finally see an appearance from the Muses in Game 3 when it does not no longer matter. When it no longer matters.
Well, and it's not really for this matchup, the Muses.
You're right. To be
It,
fair, yeah.
you would be bouncing back your own max goof is probably the best case.
Which is actually insane in this matchup if you can get the Ancient Ways with it. But
Sure.
yeah. But he does not need it, and that is going to be it. There is no outs at all that Nico can do. He's going to cautiously think about it, get a couple extra seconds on camera, and enjoy this moment as he deliberates and waits for him to concede.
We're going to count out the math here. I believe we're questing to 26 here.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah.
And that'll do it. We're going to see Ink and Lore take this match, but unfortunately, it will be a draw for both of these teams. After match 1 ended in a draw, match 2 ended in favor of the Salty Ducks with J Stamps over Zavin, and Aaron P is going to take it in match 3. And yeah, as Pusky said in chat, the Space Pete really just kind of ironed this game out. Before that Pete came out, it was looking pretty good for Nico, and then that Pete just kind of took control of the game and never let Nico get some footing or momentum at all.
And you heard it here first, chat. Get your max goofs, get your Space Captain Pete's. All.
Yeah. And Colors Law is in chat, and she is the biggest fan of draws, so is cheering excitedly for how this match ended.
Yeah, we'll banish the beast out of disrespect here.
Yep. And now Aaron will.
Oof, the throw card over too. What a move. That was a sick game.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, special bonus feature, game 3 of another match. We're going to be taken in here very shortly. Excited to see who it is. Oh, man. What do we got? Chat, what are we thinking? What do we want to see? Ooh. All right. All right. Sounds Fun is looking for ETB if they are still going. But we're going to put on who's ever still going. Wonder is working on it on the production team. And it looks like it is ETB versus Friendly Neighborhood.
Ooh.
It looks like one player is already at 20 lore, so the lore bot must be a little off.
It looks like those look like some Pandemonium Heart hands. And it looks like he's playing green purple forts.
Yep.
And our opponent being from the Friendly Neighborhood, a ton of items on board and a Sisu. So interesting that this fort probably is pretty strong against this Sisu.
Oh yeah. But I do see some Sapphire Coils as well. Can't really tell what the hand of the discard is. It looks like it is being Brunoed right now, which is why there's cards everywhere on the side of Friendly Neighborhood. Don't actually know what players are playing for Friendly Neighborhood, but as Fumbles mentioned, he recognized Pandemonium Heart's hands. And so we know it is him. It is Pandemonium Heart, aka Joseph Quigley, the Quigster.
And also, you can tell by maybe the ink management here. I gotta talk to Joey here and really get him in line.
Yeah, and Ruby Sapphire doing what Ruby Sapphire does and taking a ton of game actions to draw some cards, do some stuff, have some fun, and everybody has a good time.
Oh boy! Oh boy!
As long as they have a Sisu.
That doesn't look too good for the green purple player having their entire board wiped and really no answer to Sisu. Maybe a Lewis in hand.
Yeah. And if we came in the match right here, we're going to see ETB take their first loss of the season if this is match 3 and it is decided. But ETB could have won the first 2 matches. I do not know. Coming in the same results as you. It is match 3. Oh. So
it's all on the line.
It is all on the line. And if ETB loses this, then Friendly Neighborhood will take the win for the day and taking ETB off of their undefeated pedestal.
That looks like that was the end of the game there.
Oh.
It looks kind of like it is.
It looks like it was game 3. Okay, it was game 3, so it looks like Friendly Neighborhood takes the game and the match.
And look at
giving
that,
ATV's first
red blue
loss.
surviving without Hiram. Who knew?
Yeah. Yeah. All right,
Sweet.
Fumbles, it was wonderful casting with you. How did you enjoy the matches today?
I think I'm sweating through my jacket. So
Oh.
the matches were great. Honestly, I haven't put too much time into Infinity because every time I tried to get into Infinity mode, I just remind myself how much I don't like it right now. So
Mhm.
hopefully Wilds shakes it up a little bit.
Oh yeah.
But I'm still in core. Still fully focused on that. No real events outside of set champs. I don't think I'm Brazilian.
I think you are. You're going to secretly be there.
Don't tempt me, man. I really want to go.
I'm going to see a guy wearing a Judy Hopps mask, and I'm just like, that's Fumbles. He's under that mask.
I would love to go, man. But we'll see. We'll see. There's still a little bit of time, but April 1st today, so not much time left to decide on that.
Yeah. I've got to start my training arc here and my plan to win Brazil. So it's going to be nonstop grinding for the next 3 weeks before Brazil and making sure that we don't make mistakes. I think the key to doing well in these events is you can bring a lot of different decks, and the deck you're going to do best on is the one you make the least mistakes with. So to make sure that if you're going to switch decks, make sure you know all of the lines, because if you switch deck to a deck that you don't know the lines on and you make mistakes, that's where you lose 5-10% just on that to win that game, just on that turn. And so if you're doing that consistently, that's going to be a couple games over the DLC, and that's enough to knock you out. If you don't play perfect and a little luck goes your way, you're not going to make top cut. So it's a tough grind if you're making any mistakes. And so I always tell people, play the deck that you know the best, even if it is not the best deck for that event, because above all else, not making mistakes is the most important thing.
Yeah, and it certainly was not a mistake to come on here tonight and talk with you, J-Bomb. I'm excited to start our Infinity arc coming towards Indy eventually. But I don't know, any shout outs for you, J-Bomb?
Yeah, shout out to the person Discord said was my second best friend, which is Fumbles, my co-caster here. Yeah, love that. Discord just tells me, it's like, yep, he's the best. So awesome to cast with you. Actually, I think I've casted a lot of your matches in ICL, and you always win for me. So it's fun to cast with you here and get a different side of the Fumblenator who's always fumping.
No, thank you so much for saying that. And let's go. Shout out to my YouTube, and you can check out my videos of Alter Academy, youtube.com/jbomb.
TCG, J-Bomb
TCG.
Yeah, if you go to my
check out
J-Bomb
Alter
account,
Academy that J-Bomb does. Great videos. And you too can learn to mulligan like the best players. And that's why I've never done one with him. So
yeah, if you go to my actual J-Bomb YouTube, it's just Line Rider videos from 2011.
Nice.
All right. Questions from the chat.
Yeah.
I want to answer 2 questions from chat. We got any questions? How are you guys liking Infinity? What can we answer for you, us, the casters, and Secret Wonderland is listening in our ear? Anything you guys want to know before we get out of here?
I want Color to name her favorite Infinity card. That's what I want to know.
Color's favorite Infinity card. I'm gonna guess it is the Wall.
It might be the Wall.
Ursula's Cauldron. Oh my gosh. And I know why it's Ursula's Cauldron. Because of Allies on the Other Side, she would pick a card and then immediately forget what it was for the I forgot what effect it was. And then I have never laughed so hard playing Lorcana. Yeah, Bruno. Yeah, so she'd play Ursula's Cauldron, play Bruno, forget what the Bruno card was, and then be like, guys, you know I looked at it. Let me see it. It was the best. It was such a fun time.
All right. Get us out of here, Captain.
All right,
we're going to be sending a raid. Go ahead. You send it off, J-Bomb.
All right, we're sending it off to somebody. Who are we sending it off to? Levin Lorcana. Please enjoy this raid.
All right, they're done. Bye. Nah, you put it into Inkcaster's War Room. That's what